The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig!
Stop! Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people! And welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this NFL Week 12 Thursday kickoff, November 21st, 2024. This program starts now.
Football
is magical, and today's show is gigantic. And I can't stress that enough. We're so incredibly lucky that we get to do this and talk about sports every single day. What a dream life. And thank you all so much for allowing us to do as such. And obviously, we have a man who has coached football for 36 years here. And he's on a little bit of a schneid when it comes to picking against the spread for Thursday Night Football. But he's always great vibes. Chuck Pagano's here. Great to see you, Coach. Great to see you, Coach. Can't wait to chit-chat with you. And the Talks the Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. You guys look amazing. Heard the Red Sox are maybe in for Juan Soto.
Don't look now, but the Sox are getting Soto over all the way back.
No, they're not. But hey, until he signs somewhere, let's do it.
Okay, it's baseball. Who cares? One half of the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys AP. Tone is here, obviously rocking your Pittsburgh Steelers sweatshirt. Pittsburgh Steelers playing in a massive one.
Game day, baby.
Big one on Thursday Night Football.
One.
We'll dive into that in a matter of moments. But today, this show's going to be different than it's ever been before.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In a matter of about 9 minutes or so, ESPN's number 2 ranked player coming out of the 2025 class, which it would be seniors right now, because remember, you graduate in June.
Correct.
Even though all these top guys are done in December and go to campus earlier. This guy reclassified. He was originally supposed to be 2026. He forgoes his junior year, becomes a senior instead of his junior year. So academically,
Big brain.
big brain in this kid.
Yep.
He is number 2 player in the country. We're watching his highlights. I don't know how this guy's the number 2 player. I don't know who the number 1 player in the country is, but this dude went for 531 yards in 5 touchdowns as a freshman. Okay, he's like 15 years old. In Georgia's state championship, 7A. That's a record. Obviously, their team lost. I don't know how that happens, but that was as a freshman. This year, he's going absolutely berserk. This past weekend, he threw for 4 touchdowns, 431 yards in a playoff game or whatever. He has 132 touchdowns, 18 picks over his 3-year high school career thus far.
Pretty good.
He was committed to USC. He did commit it on Sunday, and in a matter of about 8 minutes, he'll be announcing on this program, which we are incredibly grateful for, where he will be attending school. We just want to tell Julian Lewis, Juju, hey, thanks for allowing us to be a part of this.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Buzz in the air this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Because we do not know, okay?
But,
Might have been given a heads up of a couple places it could have been, because we wanted to, hey, can we get some, because we would like to do this right.
Yeah.
We don't get to do this a lot. This is a massive moment for you. We would like to make sure it's good. So can you give us a couple? Got a chance to talk to his dad, TC. Dog.
Yeah.
Love this guy. Great conversation, great chat. Got the chance to learn about the world, because this dude, as a freshman, he's starting 7A Georgia football. Georgia that's a great football state.
Creme de la creme.
7A is the biggest it could possibly be. Going for 531 in 5 tuds in the state championship game. That's against the best players in Georgia. As a freshman, he's doing that. So this dude's been in the limelight for a long time. He's number 2. Once again, I have no idea the number 1. Good luck.
Good luck.
You got to be a beast.
You got to be real good at
You
ball.
got to be real good. But there's a couple places, I guess, that have been reported on the internet. They told us a couple different schools that it could be. So we are ready graphically to celebrate with him. Cannot wait to hear where he's going. And obviously that's going to rattle the college football world. So that's in a matter of about 7 minutes or so. And then we got Michael Lombardi. multiple-time Super Bowl champion, joining us. And then we have the greatest fighter of all time, John Jones, joining us. Pound for pound, number one fighter on earth until the day he's done fighting, as Dana White would say, and anybody with eyes that's ever watched him fight. He'll be joining us in the second hour. And then we got Kevin O'Connell, head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, joining us at 2:05 Eastern Time. So to say this is an awesome Thursday would be an understatement. But this is Week 12 kickoff Thursday. The NFL kicks off this evening in another massive division rivalry game.
Ooh.
The Pittsburgh Steelers, 8-2. Travel to play the Cleveland Browns, 2-8, as 3.5-point favorites. I know the Prime crew has got to be excited for this one. AFC North football always delivers. The Dog Pound will show up for this game, whether they're 2-8, 0-10, 0-13. It's going to be an electrifying environment. And I assume in Cleveland it's similar here to Indianapolis. First day of snow.
Wild.
First day of snow today. Woke up this morning with snow on the ground and snow falling. Should be a perfect football evening. So, Coach Pagano, I go to you. One of these teams 8-2, the other 2-8. So obviously you would think to yourself, the Steelers should definitely win this one, right? I mean, this is a evident Steelers win if we were to look at this one from a 30,000-foot view, Coach.
Absolutely. Not only the overall records, but you look at the stats, like this Pittsburgh defense against this Cleveland offense. They're 31st in total offense. They're 28th rushing the ball. I know Jameis went for a bunch of yards. This Taysom Hill guy for New Orleans.
Yeah, pretty good.
Like 200-plus yards on the overall total yards, I guess, throwing, catching, running, hitting, spiking, whatever, in the end zone. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so on paper, it looks like Pittsburgh should just run away with this, right?
Now, Chuck,
you got Russ is cooking. You got Pickens. You got T.J. Watt. You got
while
Herbig.
You're talking about that, we're showing a graphic right now on the screen that says a lot of different things. Like the graphic that's currently on the screen, Chuck. And I don't want to make you look like an idiot as you're speaking with these stats right next to your face.
Sure.
There's a lot of stats that are saying hold the phone. Mike Tomlin, Pittsburgh Steelers as a total, not great. On Thursday night against division rivals. Is that because they know their song and dance, so they don't fall for the crop? And then the Browns have won their last 6 Thursday night matchups. Mike Tomlin, 0-5 on the road on Thursday night against divisional opponents. Steelers, 0-7. Okay, so that's how many times before Tomlin that this particular situation occurred. So those stats, I think, condescend everything you're potentially saying. Are those ones that Tomlin knows about, you think, or are thinking about?
Trap game.
Oh.
Maybe this is a trap game.
What do you think?
Huge win over the Ravens.
Huge.
Now you got to go on the road. Place you have not won on Thursday night, black and blue division. I was at Cleveland for 4 years. I've been part of that dog pound. We weren't worth the shit. But when this, we weren't. Got run after 4 years. But when this team came to town, I saw William Green and Joey Porter in pregame warm-ups, fist fight.
Yeah.
Both ejected.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
This is AFC North football.
That's how this
start.
That's how, and you know why the line's only 3.5?
Why?
Just because of that.
So let's go to Pittsburgh Steelers diehard fan, AP Tone. Tone, we just put those stats up there. Not great on Thursday night against divisional foes. Why is that? And how scared are you for the Cleveland Browns, who do not have a lot to cheer for right now?
Nothing.
They paid the quarterback the most amount of money in the history of quarterbacks. He has torn Achilles. Mm-hmm. Before his Achilles, though, was he?
No.
I don't think so. Everything else around him kind of burning down. Mm-hmm. Cleveland Browns are once again the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, same Browns.
But boy, they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in primetime, Thursday Night Football. There's something that Cleveland folks in the offseason will talk shit about to every person from Pittsburgh. Are you worried about that as a Yinzer? With your team potentially, I don't want to say getting embarrassed, but potentially losing to the Cleveland Browns, who are having one of their worst years they've had in some time, and that's saying a lot about the Cleveland Browns.
Am I worried about the 2-8 Cleveland Browns? Yeah. So not me, but a lot of the Steelers fan base like to call games like this, a Tomlin game, which not me, once again, not me, but the fan base will. They have a tendency to go on the road, not only on Thursday night, but just in general against inferior opponents, and not just play down to them, but play down to them and lose those games for some reason. It's crazy. Like they beat the division leading Falcons, they beat the Chargers and Broncos, who are both in the playoffs. They beat the Commanders and Ravens, who are both in the playoffs. But if they win this one, this will be one where Steelers fans are like, okay, maybe we got something going on here, because it's been so insane like that. Like them going on the road against inferior opponents has just been a thing that they haven't played well at all doing. But hey, Russ is 9-4 on Thursday Night Football. I believe.
Really?
4-1 against division opponents. So Russ may be the difference maker. He goes, guys, don't worry. I know this isn't your spot, but this is my spot. Primetime Russ is going to be there tonight. So when they get this done tonight, hopefully, potentially, this one will be bigger than the Ravens one last week.
Okay.
Wow.
Because this is a game that you guys normally lose.
Yeah.
I mean, as it was described from all these stats, 4-2 record against divisional foes. Now, granted, Russell Wilson's brand new, so he doesn't know the defense. Arthur Smith, offensive coordinator, brand new. So playing the Cleveland Browns twice a year hasn't really set in for him at this particular point. But this Russell Wilson-led Steelers does look different than the Steelers of the past. And by the past, I mean recent history here, like the last, let's say, 7 years, maybe 6 years, where the offense kind of inept. Even Ben's last couple years, it was just like quick stuff, we're getting out, we're not really doing anything. Russell has changed that immensely. Will that be enough to change the stats that the Pittsburgh Steelers suck on Thursday night against divisional foes? I guess you're saying yes.
Well, yeah, and since Ben's his elbow injury at 19, whenever that happened, it really you hit it nail on the head there. But in this situation, oh boy. Plus, tonight, weather is supposed to be absolutely shite. So they are going to, the Browns are going to muck it up.
So who's that good for?
So let's go back to the ground.
Nobody?
Let's go back to the ground game stats. Who can run the ball and who can stop the run?
Who can?
It isn't the Brownies.
Oh. So maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers come in and play Cleveland Brown football against the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland against the Browns and get a big-time Thursday Night Football win. We'll continue to chat about that. Let's not make the world wait any longer.
Oh, no.
Learning about this kid, because he's 17 years old.
Yes.
Learning about this kid this morning in the past 24 hours has been awesome. I didn't know it was possible to do the shit that this kid has done. Legit. I just talked about it at the beginning of the show. 531 yards, 5 touchdowns. Georgia 7A state championship game as a freshman. As a freshman, he did that at quarterback. State record, obviously, never going to be touched.
No.
Okay, that's never going to be touched. He's currently in the middle of a playoff push with his team down there in Carrollton, and everybody on earth wants to know where the hell he's going to go to school. So joining us now, an absolute stud, the future of football. Ladies and gentlemen, Julian Juju Lewis.
Yeah.
Juju, what up, man?
How's it going?
Hey, hair looks sweet. Obviously, that was another thing we learned about you over the last 24 hours. All your photos look sweet. How long have we been growing that?
Oh, man, since 8th grade, something like that.
Oh, it's like 2 years ago. Got it. Okay. Yeah, because you skipped, you obviously reclassified as a 2025 senior as opposed to a 2026 senior. I just talked about your freshman stats in the championship game. At what point did you realize, like, hey, I'm a god? You know, like, what, 6th grade? Or are you just absolutely tearing people up? When did it really become, like, your thing?
Yeah, I mean, probably I was like 10. Probably I was 10. I mean, I was out there throwing seams and reading cover 3 and all that freaky stuff back then. So probably like 10, 11. I was like, okay, it's on.
That's amazing to hear. Good for you, by the way. Hey, congratulations. That is awesome. I have a baby girl, Mackenzie. She's 18 months old. And once I realized what you were able to do as a freshman, I'm like, all right, Mackenzie, we got a chance. We can dominate things as freshmen in high school. So I appreciate the inspiration. I was talking to David Mulugeta, obviously got the Athletes First hoodie on right there. He said, you're talking to my guy, Juju. He is very similar to C.J. Stroud. Very mature, very calm, football IQ through the roof, and obviously can put a ball everywhere, which is why everybody on earth is excited to hear where you're going to go to school. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Julian Juju Lewis will be playing football for whom next year, brother?
I will be continuing my athletic and academic career at
Here we go, full
the University of Colorado.
Okay. Congratulations. We're incredibly proud of you. We're pumped for you that you were able to make this decision. Now, obviously, this is going to be huge news, not only in Colorado, not only in the Big 12, but the NFL is going to have to talk about this as well because of all the storylines surrounding Coach Prime and what everybody's thinking there. And when you took your visit to Colorado, there was a photo of Shador basically handing the keys over to you. How big of a moment was this? And at what point did you know you wanted to be a Colorado Buffalo?
I mean, of course, it was big for me just coming in after Shador, just seeing what he's done to Colorado and what he's turned it into. But it's definitely a blessing getting put in this position, coming after him and with his dad. I mean, I couldn't beat it.
What are your conversations with Coach Prime like? And ultimately, because obviously we see what Travis Hunter's doing. And I think because he went to Colorado, he's been allowed to do all of these things. I think some other schools would have forced him to go one way or the other, and we'd all be left out of watching greatness happen right in front of our eyes. What did Coach Prime tell you that made you feel comfortable about taking your career that has been prolific already and extending it with him in Colorado?
I mean, Coach Prime's always said, like, the best man's going to play, and that's really what I wanted, was to be able to come in and compete, start as a freshman. I mean, I wouldn't have much fun sitting on the bench, so I was like, I want to come in somewhere I can get a chance to play, so he's going to let me compete for that. That was big for me.
So I assume you graduate here in December, and then you'll be up in Colorado?
I will be, yes, sir.
It's beautiful up there, brother. Now, you're from Georgia. It's hot. Are you excited about the chili and the views up there in the Rockies?
It's kind of icy right now. I'm not gonna lie. It was like 35 this morning. It's kind of burr.
Wow.
Okay, it's freezing as shit here in Indianapolis. I guess also down in Georgia. 35 is cold. You get it.
Yeah.
That's not a worry at all. What are your thoughts as you go on to play at the next level? You just excited to learn, or what are your main objectives?
Yeah, no, I mean, of course, I'm excited to learn under Coach Shermer and Coach Prime. I was talking about it the other day. I don't think there's a better person to learn how to read defenses and coverages than Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. So, I mean, just trying to grow mentally is my big thing.
They figured out the offensive line too, which is good news. They opened that thing up too.
Oh yeah,
we're going to be able to spin that thing. I think everything that you're great at, they've obviously spotlighted with Shador in their offense. We're incredibly pumped for you, man. Good luck with everything.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Hey, thanks for letting us be a part of this. Legitimately.
Yeah. No, thank y'all. Thank y'all for having me.
I don't know if we're DoorDashing anything, though. Are we going to DoorDash anything to celebrate? I see the thing right over your shoulder there.
Oh, man, DoorDash my go-to. I already got it on me.
Smart.
This is that NIL stuff.
Yep.
This is brilliant. Good luck with it all. We appreciate you. Congrats, brother.
Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Julian Juju Lewis. He's in the middle of a playoff push right now.
Yeah.
So he's going to take care of that. I assume that's why he wanted to make this decision as quickly as he did. Decommits from USC on Sunday. Here we are 4 days later. Let's get back to ball now and get focused. 17 years old. Dude.
Unbelievable.
Look at how comfortable, calm he is. I do believe this younger entrepreneurial mindset has made a lot of these kids have to mature at a much quicker rate. But football IQ-wise, Mulugeta was like, hey, this kid, and he just said about 8th grade, cover 3, I started breaking down. It's like, it's just another level, it feels like, these younger guys.
So who was it? His family, his dad a coach, brothers? Does he have siblings? Where did he learn the game? Where did he gain all this knowledge? Just from his high school coaches?
Yeah, it said his dad played a little bit at UConn, and then I just saw on his Instagram. I don't know what position he has on the coaching staff, but I think he's involved on the high school team as well.
I can't fathom. No, we should have known about him a lot earlier. Just want to let you know.
Definitely.
Because this is unbelievable stuff. And I don't know how many of these there are around the country. Obviously, there are big fish in small ponds everywhere. Every single high school probably has a best player, best everything. What he's been doing and then he did the Quinn Ewers move, which is reclassifying a year earlier. So academically, you also have to do a bunch of stuff. So you have to be intelligent. You have to be focused, attention to detail. And physically, he just holds freshman year. What he was able to do, 7A, Georgia football. Georgia creates monster. Georgia high school football is
studs.
It's not like you're just some crappy state. This is a great state where he performed very well. Coach Prime's got to be elated about this decision, especially with Shador on his way out.
Biggest classification in Georgia, a couple years ago, there's a good chance he was playing against dudes who are either in the NFL who went to Georgia or, guys who are going to be first-round picks. So, yeah, I feel like, obviously there are special talents everywhere, but, very rarely do you see that.
Number 2.
Yeah.
What's this guy got to do?
Breaking records at 14 years old.
That's unbelievable.
I look it up. The number 1 is the kid who LSU and Michigan are currently fighting over for the millions and millions of dollars.
So I think that's very normal now.
Yeah.
I think it's very normal operating procedure.
Yeah.
I don't know how many millions and millions.
What do you think he got? Any idea?
I have no idea. Well, so I think Colorado. So I might be mistaken in talking out of pocket here. So because not everybody just shows their accounts. Not everybody just shows it. Colorado does have NIL, obviously. Have to in this modern world that we're in, especially if you're going to want to win championships, which they're still very much in it for the Big 12 right now. Could end up in a college football playoff, which everybody would be incredibly pumped about. Even their haters would be pumped about because in the biggest moment they get to see him. You're from Boulder.
Yeah, so I can't even imagine right now
the NIL,
what's going on in Boulder.
So the NIL stuff, I don't think Colorado is at the level of there's some schools that are head and shoulders above.
Not at USC's level, even.
Well, and I think exactly, and I don't think USC is anywhere near
SEC schools and
Ohio State.
Ohio State
and
Oregon.
Well, exactly.
And in the great state of Texas down there.
Yeah, right.
You're talking about there is some NIL stuff at some of these schools that are head and shoulders above everybody else. So it's not just the amount of money. It's not like, I don't think he took the biggest check he was offered, if I am reading the tea leaves properly in college football. But what he's choosing is development.
Absolutely.
And connections and blueprint on how to become an NFL pro or how to become a legacy or a legend and Hall of Famer and everything like that. Like Coach Saban talks about this. Alabama did not have, at the end here when NIL was real, but the sell was, hey, you're going to come here and this is the blueprint. This is kind of a thing. I think Deion's doing the same exact thing over there in Colorado, and that's a big part of the pitch. And a lot of the schools that don't have the deep pockets that everybody else is, that is going to have to be the way they sell it, because somebody can show up with hey, here's $3 million to come play. And then another school is like, we got $1.5 million. You're still a millionaire.
Pretty sweet.
That's still a lot of money. But you're going to have to make up that difference somewhere, right? You're going to have to make up that difference somewhere. And I think Coach Prime, that coaching staff, everything they've been able to do and prove that they can do at any level. He was doing high school.
Yeah.
He was doing HBCU. Now he's doing it in a Power 4 program and a Power 4 conference. And then obviously with what Shador and Travis, those might be top 5 picks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Those might be 2 top 5 picks from the same program. 2 Heisman finalists from the same program. It's in a very quick time, Coach Prime has proved himself, legitimacy, obviously. And I assume his dad, TC, massive fan of Coach Prime.
For sure.
Yeah, so he has that. It's good stuff happening in Colorado.
Big challenge for them is not only the NIL, right? And Prime, Rick George has got the biggest challenge, right? The athletic director. A year ago this time, it looked like, what are we doing? Right? Everybody's
team's
losing, not working.
So we started out as saying this little project, this little whatever, and now fast forward to today, and this announcement. Now, Rick George, you better secure you some cash and some cheese.
You better start shaking some hands, brother.
You better, Sig, down the road here in Bloomington, just got, ripped off a nice little check, right? 64.
8 per.
8 per, right?
Yep.
Because now all the talk on TV, all the pundits now is Deion to the NFL, Deion here, Deion there, right? He says he's got his kickstand down, right? And he's set up. This is where he wants to be.
Just got the number 2 commit in the entire country.
But it's money talks, right? Now, Prime may not need a nickel, probably, if I'm guessing right. I don't think he needs.
Hey.
I mean, we all
how
need
much money is enough money?
Nothing.
Not enough.
Yeah. Not enough. Okay.
There is.
So he's doing fine. But Rick George, the athletic director, kudos to him pulling this thing off. Kudos to that staff. Prime, what he's doing, getting this deal. I know those. I know the money guys there in Boulder still.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Well, tell them to start.
They have to step up.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it all Paisans up there with money, or who is it?
No, you got a little bit of everything. Kind of eclectic.
Thank God.
It's a beautiful area, Boulder.
It is.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing to talk about is that right now it's all Deion to the NFL. It's like we should think about the other school that he decommitted from. Like Lincoln Riley has been loud about going to the NFL the past few years, not him himself, but people just talking about it. Like you wonder with him decommitting, especially with this money conversation, like Lincoln Riley could easily be going to the NFL next year, and we're not really talking about it because Shador and Deion and Prime. That's more so the story right now.
Those windows that we all have, they close really fast.
Yeah.
Like you're hot in 1 second.
Last couple of years,
and then the next second,
you're offense coordinator for another team.
Yeah.
No longer head
you're
coach.
not. So like when you better strike while it's hot.
Congrats, Juju.
Hell yeah.
Cool kid.
Yeah.
They're sweet.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
He already has a Head and Shoulders deal waiting on you.
Yep.
Hey, Mulligata.
Let's go.
He knows.
Probably hairspray somewhere.
Let's go.
How about him having Mulligata as his guy?
That's a big deal.
So you can. So I'm behind. So you can have. Like you're at high school, you can have an agent.
Yeah, well, you need one.
Yeah.
Because if you don't,
No, I know with the NI, but so you can sign.
I think so, yeah. Now, to be clear, if you're a junior high and David Mulugeta says he would like to handle your business for you or help you handle your business, you sign that contract with David Mulugeta. Now, there's also a lot of bad agents that are probably trying to do something similar, which is a part of the entire development of having to have guardrails on this whole thing going forward, which I think there's a judgment coming Q1 of next year about how it's all going to work out. But yeah, I think the fact that I don't think Mulugeta's missed much.
No.
I think and to be a great agent, obviously you have to have great negotiating ability, great communicating skills, but you also have to be a good scout.
Yeah.
Like you have to, so whenever I get a text from Mulugeta, it's like, hey, heard you got my guy, Juju, coming on. I immediately was like, this dude's a Mulugeta guy?
What?
Good for him. Good for his family. DoorDash is sitting right there.
Yeah, it's perfect.
DoorDash is sitting right there.
Mm-hmm.
He knows.
Signed card up on the other side.
He knows.
Congrats, Juju. Hey, TC, the whole family. Thanks for allowing us to be a part of that. Now, let's get back to this evening's game. Pittsburgh Steelers, Cleveland Browns. I think it's going to be a good primetime game.
Absolutely.
And, there was a time where you were a bit bummed out about these primetime games. But tonight, I think it's a guaranteed to deliver. Now, it might not be this explosive game.
No.
But there's going to be some Ram trucked moments that are going to happen tonight.
Yeah, and that was kind of like last week. Like we were very excited about Eagles Commanders because there was going to be a lot of points and all that, and it started off very slow, but it was still good because it was kind of a smash mouth type game. Personally, this is like the worst line we've probably ever had on any of the Thursday night football games at 3.5 favored to the Steelers, because in one hand you say, well, I can't bet on the Browns and then have them get blown out because obviously you're not supposed to bet on the Browns. And then on the other hand, you think, well, I shouldn't bet on the Steelers because this line in reality should be 8.5, 9.5, but actually is 3.5. So they're telling you to take the Browns. I think it's going to be a smash mouth, Nick Chubb, Naj, putting their heads down, running all over the place. I don't know exactly who's going to win the game, to be completely honest with you, but from what Tone has said, as much as this game means, it does feel like the Steelers have to get this one done.
36.5 over-under. Is that low?
For an NFL game, yeah, but it might be too high, to be honest.
Really?
I mean, with the weather and these two teams, like, if I was a betting man and I bet on Steelers games, I'd probably take the under.
Aren't you? You're the host of a sports betting show.
You are a betting man, right?
I am a betting man.
Yeah, and you get like
going on?
Judge completely on it.
Yeah. I don't
so you're saying if I was a betting man is awesome. Just thinking you are a betting man, but you were trying to. This is like a Mr. Kim type.
Yeah,
situation.
exactly.
Yeah.
Mike Foss.
Yeah, bingo.
Mike Foss.
If Fist was
who
here.
runs the show, by the way?
Mike
Foss runs the
Mike
show.
Foss.
Mike Foss runs the show, of course.
Foss.
Thank you to Front Office Sports for the seemingly nice write-up on LinkedIn. There's some backhanded, you know
those.
No doubt.
have to do their thing and numbers wrong. And whenever you're going to put a valuation on a company, Front Office Sports, you know that. Let's make sure we're right and we take into account all the businesses that are in there, because you could be potentially cutting me off at the knees a little bit publicly when you don't have a clue about the valuation of our company. But I do appreciate the kind words. In there it says Mike Foss runs the show.
Mike Foss runs the show.
He's the guy.
Mike Foss runs the show.
He actually told us to lead with what we love with.
Oh, yeah. He writes the script for us.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And if you do a wide shot, so zoom out a little bit. Can you zoom out a little bit? So these are just teleprompters. These right here. These are just teleprompters. The ones over there.
I'm too
And
sure.
Mike Foss is actually just typing the entire show so that we can read it. Mike Foss, the one that books everybody that comes on this show. He sends all the emails and text messages.
He actually told me what to wear today.
Yeah, well, he said, need you to wear another New England hat like you did yesterday. That was a big hit. Do the Boston Hockey, now do the Patriots.
Bingo, yeah.
Man, we can't thank Mike Foss enough.
Orders all the food pre-show. I wish he could have got mine here a little earlier today, but outside of that,
He bought this place. He bought the Thunderdome.
Told me to wear flannel.
Yep, bingo. Built the Thunderdome.
Never done that.
He wired it all up. Never wore flannel.
Yeah.
Never. Foss comes through, sends a text, say, Chuck, going to need you to do that.
come on.
Thanks for running the show, Foss.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know where it would be without Foss.
In the shitter.
Before we even got to ESPN, too, think about this. It was crazy because Foss was working at ESPN, but he was doing what he's doing now for our show still for us whenever we weren't with ESPN.
Multitasker.
See you guys down the road.
Just typing up, hey, let me help you guys out. Let me go ahead and type this up. We love Foss. Foss doesn't fucking run shit on our show. Okay, just one little journalistic standard creation in that whole thing. But he is a massive help for us. a massive weapon for us and wildly handsome and also a huge part of the future of ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
We love Mike Foss.
Yeah, great soccer player as well.
Great soccer player.
Can play footy.
Should have subbed himself in more, I think.
Definitely.
You know, he was
Team
a little.
player.
Sure.
He was just a little bit hesitant.
A little timid, yeah.
Yeah.
Just because he didn't want to be so good that everyone else was like, why the hell am I even here?
I think he legitimately did not want to step on anybody's toes. Like, hey, this is everybody's thing. It's like, hey, Fosso, we
Get in there, Foss.
We need you over there.
Need that boot.
We love Fosso. Absolutely love Mike Foss. But that was, one line in that particular thing that potentially made me say, oh, you just want to discredit everything I've ever done. Okay, got it. That makes sense. I appreciate that. But nonetheless, we appreciate kind words being said about this because that is very abnormal. That's maybe the most abnormal thing that has ever happened.
Far and few between.
Now, it was on LinkedIn, too. So all those people on LinkedIn are big fans of ours.
True.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that is all going very well. But nonetheless, big night tonight.
Yeah, huge.
A lot of Ram trucked moments.
Yeah.
Joining us now is a person who's had a job with the Cleveland Browns, has been a part of this rivalry before. He's a multiple-time Super Bowl champion, an absolute stallion of an Italian man. He's a podcast host, live show host. He's a TED speaker. He's an email newsletter founder. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Lombardi.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? How are we doing? We are going to witness history tonight. I mean, Al may not wear a tie. It's going to be too cold. But the history is going to be, this will be the first game, Pat, that Jameis Winston has played in temperatures below 40 degrees in his NFL career.
Wow.
Can you imagine that?
No.
How about that?
I did not know that. Obviously, he's down at Tampa. He's down in New Orleans, comes up to Cleveland this year. You would think one of those teams would have had a game, though, against some North opponent late in the season. They have not. How would Jameis handle it, I wonder?
Yeah, because even going back to college, you wonder how many he played with at Florida State.
None.
Probably none.
Yeah.
The reason we measure hands at the combine on quarterbacks is because of nights like tonight. When you have small hands, it maybe becomes difficult to handle a slippery football. And Jameis had really small hands coming out of college. So this will be a challenge for him against a very good Pittsburgh front. And his ability to handle a wet football in the conditions that we're going to face tonight. It'll be great football. It'll be fun to watch.
Well, as Jim Harbaugh said, tonight's going to be a cold night. Okay.
Yep.
Shout out to the Black Eyed Peas. Love the Black Eyed Peas. But you're talking about cold and rainy. Is that the story of tonight? Jameis Winston potentially having to handle all of that? Or this is AFC North football. Whoever's more physical than the other team is going to win?
Yeah, no, I think the story of tonight is why the Steelers and certainly Diggs can talk about this is they don't win on Thursday night. Mike Tomlin has struggled on the road on Thursday nights. It's been really bad. He's 0-7 straight up, and against the spread, he hasn't been very good on Thursday night away from Pittsburgh. That's been a problem. So, and one thing we do know about the AFC North, or the old Central, if you will, however you want to call it, the underdog has always had a place at the table. They're at 61% covering the number in these type of games. So even though it doesn't look weird, even though it doesn't look like it should be a close game, the Browns have only scored over 18 points one time all season, but they did it against the Ravens, believe it or not. So even though it doesn't look like it should be a good game, it's probably going to be a really good defensive, ugly struggle and come down to the final 5 minutes.
Every time we get a chance to talk about one of these AFC North games, I can't help but think about how lucky I was to grow up in one of these AFC North towns. So whenever I see 4.5 point spread last week for the Ravens against Pittsburgh Steelers, it's like, the 4.5 we think? This is what we think this is going to be like? And then tonight, 3.5. I know it's not 4.5, but it's certainly more than a field goal. That feels big to me for an AFC North game. That just kind of feels big to me, especially with the conditions being the way they are.
Yeah, it feels big to me, too, because, look, both these teams, they know each other. There's the rivalry, right? I mean, I've been a part of it. Last year, believe this or not, it was the first time the Steelers didn't finish ahead of the Browns in the standing in the AFC North, or if you want to go back to the AFC Central, since 1989 when Kevin Mack scored against the Houston Oilers to win that game on the last day. And that was the last time the Browns finished ahead of them until last year. So this has been an intense rivalry, and it's going to continue to be that way. And I think the Steelers have their work cut out for them tonight. Even though the Browns, lost badly last week, they still gained 400 and some yards, 443 yards against the Saints. Jameis threw for the most yards of any time any quarterback in Cleveland Brown this season. So it'll be fascinating if he protects the football. That's what's going to really come out of this. What happens? Does he not protect it, or does he?
Is this game going to be a part of your picks at the end of this conversation, or no?
No, because I don't trust Jameis with his small hands in cold weather. I mean,
how can he have small hands? He's 6.
They're 9 and 3/8.
I worry about it because
those carny hands.
I can't trust a guy with small
they smell like cabbage, smell like all that stuff, right?
That's ridiculous. All right, so you're just staying away from this one. That's smart.
Absolutely, yeah.
Couple more stats here. You talk about the standings and everything, and this doesn't just about tonight's game, but just Pittsburgh Steelers as a whole. This is from Hembo. Pittsburgh's preseason over-under was 8 wins. Mm-hmm. Tomlin will hit the over with its next win for the 5th consecutive season. Okay, and it will be the 12th time in 18 seasons if he does it. Now, there's a chance.
Yeah.
If he does it.
Stingy team.
It'll be the 12th. Well, not just tonight, the rest of the season.
Yeah, you're right.
It'll be the 12th time in 18 seasons that Tomlin's team has exceeded its preseason win total. So, projected expectations, Tomlin has obviously outperformed them. This year, though, feels like one of the teams that can maybe get them out of, 13 to 21 draft picks, right? Isn't that kind of what the expectation is this year?
Yeah, it is. I mean, we've been sitting in that 13, 18, 20 range for since really the last 5 years. And
what does that mean?
That's the purgatory that we sit in.
That means you're above 500,
correct,
but you're losing a lot of games too.
Yep.
No chance to win a Super Bowl, but could win every game.
Correct.
And it's it's kind of a purgatory that the Steelers have been. Russell Wilson has seemingly taken the Yinzers out of this. I got a text this morning from Bones.
Sure.
It was Jack Black kicking Will Ferrell's dog off the bridge.
Yeah.
And he says, this is what's happening to the Browns tonight, the dog pound. And then obviously a full thing about how he feels. But Yinzers feel like this is a team that can actually go, which hasn't happened in a long time, I think, for actual Steelers fans deep down.
Yeah, I mean, look, Wilson's played really well. He averages 7.8 yards per attempt. Think about this now, Pat. He's only started 4 games. He's thrown for 942 yards in those 4 games, whereas the field started 6 games and he threw for 1,100 yards. So they're throwing the ball down the field with more consistency, right? He had the bad interception last week against Baltimore, but for the most part, they've also improved their running game. Over the last 5 games that they've played, they've averaged 152 yards rushing, and they've only given up 17.2 points per game in those 5 games. They played really good defense. Look, what Mike does is Mike is a great leader of men, and he's a great football coach, and he proves the point that head NFL coaches are about leadership and about devising a game plan to allow you to win the game. And it may not look pretty. It may not look fine. It may not be explosive. But at the end of the day, we'll kick 6 field goals and we'll win the game. That we'll kick 6 field goals against the Falcons and win the game. No matter what we have to do to win, we're going to win the game. And I think that goes to Tomlin's ability to instill mental toughness and physical toughness in his team. It's really remarkable to watch, and it's fun. Look, we're seeing it this year. We have 9 teams that have only won 3 games in the league. The Saints have won 4, but they beat 3 of those wins have come against teams in the bottom. I think this statement that you're seeing from Sean Payton, you're seeing from Jim Harbaugh, you're seeing from Mike Tomlin about head coaches running their teams, I think it's a powerful statement.
Yeah, having a strategy to win the game as opposed to just being, this is what we're going to do and it's either going to work or it's not going to work is a beautiful thing. And then in-game management is a big decision as well. And then obviously having a kicker like Boswell make the kicks. Yeah. That's a huge deal, especially tonight with the way this weather's going to be. Hop's coming off a bad game. Hopkins missed a couple last week, including missing a 32-yarder penalty, get another opportunity at it, misses a 27-yarder.
Man.
Now, granted, I'm a guy who has missed short field goals, but they didn't let me kick in the NFL.
Sure.
So, normally, whenever you're missing, shorter field goals, there's something going on, either mentally or maybe with your stroke. Hopefully, Hop, who I have I'm a big fan of, gets it back. But tonight could be a big field goal game. Weather's about to be absolute crap. Mm-hmm. Boz has proven that this year he is stroking,
Oh, yeah.
He's stroking in the east. He's stroking in the west. Boz.
Stroking to the woman that I love best. He's
stroking. He is. He's been stroking all year, so tonight could come down to that. Okay, let's pivot off of this Thursday night football game. Let's go to some other teams. Con Man's got a question for you.
Yeah, Lombo, how do you feel about the teams on the bubble? Obviously, the Colts are one of them. The Bengals, even though they just lost to the Chargers, are still in it. And then, of course, the Dolphins at 4-6 going up against New England this week. weekend on the AFC side. Do you see any of them catching the Broncos, and do you see any of the teams in the NFC too as well? Because that race is much closer.
I think Miami, when Miami's schedule came out, they ended the season in Cleveland and at the Jets. And I thought, boy, that's not good for Tua. Cold weather games. They're probably going to need them to get into the playoffs. But now, even though they still will be cold weather, both those teams have mailed it in. That won't be really factoring games when it comes down to it. I think Miami still has a chance to do it. But this Denver team, let's make no mistake about it, they're hard to play. They destroyed Atlanta. They were physical. They took control. Bo Nix is getting better. Sean's doing a really good job of working three elements of his team, offense, defense. And look, they had Kansas City beat. I can promise you, Patrick Mahomes was sore after that Kansas City game. After that Denver game. He was sore. So I think they are. Look, Cincinnati is a track team. They're a 7-on-7 team. Right, I feel bad for Lou Anarumo because they have no physicality to their team. They're a third down nickel team. They really are. They're a 2-minute team, and Joe Burrow's having an MVP season, and they've won 3 games. I mean, you're going to have to play complementary football to win games. They just don't. They turn the ball back over to the Chargers. They take 25 seconds off the clock, and then they lose on a touchdown at the last second. They don't run the ball when they have a chance, or they don't throw it when they have a chance to beat Baltimore. It just continues to mount. They're 1-7 in one-score games. So I just don't see them. And for the Colts, they're just too inconsistency. I loved Richardson last week. They ran an offense that fits him. I think, can he do it another week? That's what I'm excited to watch.
I think the thing about Anthony Richardson is he had 2 weeks where us included pointed out very obvious things about being a starting quarterback in the NFL. And all you heard everybody around him say is like, yes, all these things potentially real, but also 22 years old. This guy is still younger than a lot of the quarterbacks that are still in college and all of the quarterbacks that are in the NFL. He still can change and develop habits, and they said over 2 weeks he was more invested, more prepared, seemingly better than ever. Yep. And whenever he was running through people, he was bouncing right back up. Mm-hmm. There wasn't even a thought of like, he understands that everything he does is being watched, not only by the public eye and the media, but by his teammates and by people in the building and people that maybe have an investment stake in the Indianapolis Colts. It's like that 2-week period there where he got benched for Joe Flacco, and even though Joe Flacco didn't play how we thought Joe Flacco was going to play, I think it was a massive moment for the development of Anthony Richardson. And behind closed doors, we're being told like, night and day here. Yes. Now we got like a different operating procedure, and I think if you're Shane Steichen, you should be pumped. If you're a Colts fan, you should be pumped. And if you're Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions, I think we should be maybe some scaredy cats up there.
Yeah, look out.
I think the Lions should have a little deeper purr maybe going on this week because you got a mad Colts team that can still get in. Everything is still very much in front of us. Now the Lions, we know they're Super Bowl.
They're juggernaut.
Oh, yeah. It is Super Bowl or bust almost conversation every year for the next 10 years for you guys.
Amen.
But with the Colts, you're talking about like a desperate team that cannot lose another one. And it's at our house, and I'm not saying that means anything with this Lions team. They don't play with their food either. They
beat the shit out of people.
They do what they got to do. But I think Anthony Richardson, if he's going to continue to be invested in the team, seeing that he's invested, so they all know that they have a chance to really win these games, it's going to be a good battle. It's going to be a good battle.
And historically, Lions haven't been great against running quarterbacks. So if AR is making good decisions and running the ball without Anzalone, that might be a little bit of an issue. So we'll see what happens.
You scaredy cat?
No. To be clear, not afraid of any team in the NFL right now.
Not afraid of any team? Okay, well, there's a team in the NFC that beat you guys last year. Ty Schmidt has a question for you.
Yeah, Lombo, one of those teams on the NFC side you didn't mention that is on the bubble but could still also win the division, the 49ers. They've been banged up week in, week out, and for whatever reason, they just don't look like the same team as last year. Obviously, they have a tough game this weekend against the Packers in Lambeau, but what do you think of this 49ers team? Like, should we write them off yet, or do we expect them to kind of get back to where everyone thought they were going to be, before the season started?
Well, they're so depleted injury-wise. Just take their defensive line. If Bosa doesn't play this weekend, the 4 starters from the last time they played Green Bay, in the divisional round aren't even going to be on the field. They're not the same team defensively, and offensively, they're just still not where they need to be. McCaffrey is coming back off the injury. I mean, Jordan Mason averaging over 5 yards a carry. I think they need to kind of use McCaffrey kind of a little differently because he's below 4 yards a carry so far, where Mason was really power. They need that power run game a little bit. And I think not having Kittle last week was hard. Realize you have to go back to the Dallas Cowboys in 2000 before you can find a team that had a lead in the fourth quarter by 4 or more points that lost it to divisional rivals. And that's what's happened to the 49ers. Had a 10-point lead against Arizona, had a 10-point lead against the Rams, had a 4-point lead against the Seattle Seahawks, and they lost it. And their defense couldn't get a stop. Now, Bosa got hurt. They didn't control him in the pocket. This will be a hard game. Look, Green Bay's really a good team, but there's some deficiencies with Green Bay. They lead the league in drop passes at receiver, right? They're not a great third down team for as good as they are skill-wise and as good as the offensive line pass protects. But the issue with Green Bay more than anything is that they're very good on second down. They're the second best team in the National Football League in converting first downs and 2 downs. I call that Canadian football. Right. And when you play Canadian football, you're good. That's when you're really good. You get momentum, you get going. But I think they're going to need a great game out of Jordan Love, who's not as accurate as he was last year. And remember, in that game they played out there in the divisional round, Jordan Love, they only had 3 first downs in the fourth quarter. They had a turnover, they had a missed field goal, and they had a punt. And so they really couldn't close that game out. And they're going to need Josh Jacobs to duplicate what Aaron Rodgers did. He had Aaron Jones, he had 18 carries for 103 yards in that game. I think this is a hard game for San Francisco because of where they are injury-wise.
Yeah, and also let's not discredit that the Seattle Seahawks, good team.
Yeah.
The entire NFC West, very much better this year, I think, than they've been in years past. And obviously Packers are going to be a tough challenge every single year, but maybe the Niners are just calloused a little bit. Maybe they've been through it. Coming off a loss, not the place I would want to play the Niners, but the Green Bay Packers aren't worried about nothing, are you?
No, but I mean, like Lambo said, you got to stop turning the fucking ball over. That's kind of giving these teams, 5-6 extra possessions. You can't beat everybody doing that.
You know where Green Bay's not very good, Pat, and this is what makes playoff team. Playoffs are always decided by third and fourth and short, and always at the end of the half scoring. Green Bay's the 31st team in the National Football League in handling third and short on defense. They're not good there. They're the 31st team in the National Football League in stopping people from scoring in the 4 minute at the middle 8. So they don't play really good. And then what makes them really challenging is they're the worst. They're the 31st defense on first down pass defense on their defense. They have 6 first-round picks on defense. So they got a lot invested in this defense, but they don't play to that level all the time, and they haven't turned the ball over recently like they did earlier in the year. This will be interesting. I think San Francisco comes out throwing. The key to this game for San Francisco is they got to play from the front. They can't get into a drop-back pass game.
I didn't know that stat about third and fourth and short for the Green Bay Packers because if you think late in the NFC playoffs, third and fourth and short is a guaranteed go.
Yeah.
And we're talking about the Eagles here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
automatic.
That's just, you might as well just continue running that entire thing. And then first down, he said pass defense not great at all. So they're staying on schedule in this entire thing. And then middle 8.
No, they're bad. You can throw the ball as good as anybody against them on first down. They're very generic on first down. Yeah. You
so
can't
that's
do
setting
that.
up for a third and short. Mm-hmm. That's setting up for a third and fourth and short, So whenever you talk about, and obviously being able to win games now matters. I'm not saying it doesn't because getting into the dance. But in the dance now, which we should all start thinking about, it's like, does your team have what it takes to be able to win whenever it comes down to it? I didn't know that was a Packers deficiency. I guess you guys are seeing that every week?
Yeah, like Lambo said, too, it didn't really show up earlier in the season because they were turning the ball over so much. So it was you just kind of went with it. But Jair Alexander is kind of a willy won't he every single week to play. He's been on the injury report for the last 5 weeks, and they're down another cornerback right now, so they're playing some of their backups, and they have it. I mean, the Bears kind of ran it down their throats last week, and it's been like that the last couple weeks, and they haven't been turning the ball over.
All right, let's pivot away from that. Go ahead.
No, they just never stopped Caleb from running the rhythm. Caleb ran the spacing rhythm passing game last week, and the Packers really never stopped it.
Caleb.
Yeah. They won, though, so,
What a year. I know, but what a year.
Yeah,
wild.
God.
I couldn't even fathom.
They're 4-2.
Yeah, from one team that has already fired a coach, the offense coordinator. Let's go to a team that has fired their coach, offense coordinator, and general manager. AP Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, let's talk about
sir.
the dumpster fire that is Florham Park, New Jersey, and the New York Jets. Pat just said it. Everyone's fired. So what happens now, Lombo? Like, do you think the new GM, like, do they meet with Rodgers and Devontae, or do they make that decision on their own? And do you think they're going to keep them?
Well, I think the reason all this is happening now is because Woody Johnson, the owner of the Jets, his wife, and Melania Trump, Trump's wife, are best friends, and we know he's going to go back to becoming an ambassador of some country. I don't know which one. I'm trying to get the ambassador to Italy, but he's probably going to be England, right?
I'm in, Lombo.
You know,
He wants over there too.
Chuck.
Jesus, Chuck.
I'm not getting that.
I don't think
one,
that's
Chuck.
how you get an ambassador role.
No.
Okay, Chuck.
It's a great house, but so I think what he wants to do, the last time he left town to become an ambassador, his brother hired Robert Saleh, and they already had Joe Douglas. I think what he wants to do is hire the GM. He'll probably listen to the league office. He'll get names from the league office. He'll hire the GM, and then those two will pick the next coach. And I think once they do that, then the decisions down the road, do they pick up the $35 million option on Aaron Rodgers for next season? What do they want their team to look like and how they're going to move forward? Look, here's the reality of the Jets. I mean, they have not won over the last 12 years. There's a reason for that, whether it's John Itzik, Mike McKagan, Joe Douglas, it doesn't matter. They've all lost. I mean, the coaches, Adam Gase, Todd Bowles, Robert Saleh, they've not been able to win. And there's a reason for that because the owner's involved. He's involved in everything. I mean, the other day he's having a meeting. The best thing about this is he has a meeting with Saleh and Douglas, and he doesn't like what they say, so he adds more people to the meeting. And you know what happens when you have more people to the meeting? You get leaks. They get lit. All of a sudden, now we know he was trying to bench Rodgers for Tyrod Taylor. I mean, this is dysfunction at the highest level. And so when you realize they can't win, don't be surprised and don't think they're going to hire somebody with a magic wand because everybody else who's been in there hasn't been able to turn the tide either.
So whenever we say a team is cursed, it could potentially be a curse, but from a person, maybe. And whenever you said when you said Woody is going to want to hire the next GM before he goes and becomes an ambassador or wherever, before you and Chuck both started pitching, get us back to the boot, get us back to the boot. You said the league will give him a list of names. What does that mean? Is that how the process works?
Well, yeah, what they'll do is they hire Jed Hughes, who represents the league. He works for some search firm. I don't understand it. Don't ask me why. It's complicated. You have to be on that search firm's list. It has nothing to do with how much football you know and how you market yourself. And then he'll go to that list and he'll interview. Now he can do it because he has openings in head coaching and that. So he gets ahead of himself, right? Because if you want to get the right guy, you want to get ahead of yourself a little bit. But he wants this in place before he's got to go over there after, at a certain point. Because the last time he wasn't involved with the hiring of Saleh, he let his brother Christopher do it. But this is a bureaucratic organization. There's layers upon layers in this Jet organization. And there's no supreme commander at all. You've got a lot of people you have to answer to, and it becomes a problem. I think they're going to have a hard time attracting a really serious candidate, really do. Why would Ben Johnson leave a great job at Detroit to come into this dumpster fire and work for a GM that you don't even know? It's really problematic.
Ben Johnson's already allegedly, if we believe all the news cycles from the past couple of off seasons, Ben Johnson has already potentially had a head coaching opportunity and said, nah, I am going to stay with the Detroit Lions. Yep. And I'm assuming that's going to become a more common approach, especially with these owners getting more money that are getting into the NFL, which leads us to Cliff Kingsbury, Josh Harris, Magic Johnson and team. They literally have cash out the waz. They will pay. Sean Payton potentially ended up with the Broncos because the Walmart family had more money than anybody, and they potentially were like, hey, not only will we pay you a shit ton, your assistant coaches that you want to get in here will pay a shit ton. If we have success, we'll try to keep them. There's a new model happening right now. The grass isn't always greener as a head coach for some of these coordinators, and the amount of firings, I think, has kind of showcased that. Now, there's only 32 of them, so inevitably you should take your spot whenever you get it. But I think some of these coordinators who have had opportunities year after year, like Aaron Glenn's name is going to be up, Slowick's name is going to be up, even though people said his name has been out of the running in this entire thing. I think there is a chance for the ownership to be like, hey, maybe maybe next year, right? Another year we can do this. We'll bump your pay another $1 million, another $2 million, and you still live the good life as we try to do something special, which we're certainly doing in those spots. Let's talk about ownership and money, though, because something close to your heart and another Italian's heart is certainly happening. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, so Lombardi, I see where Mark Davis sold off another piece of his team, his organization, another 15%. He's already sold 10% to Tom Brady, as we know. There's a lot of noise coming out of that place. There's a lot of noise now, some different noise coming out of that locker room as far as players wanting to hold assistant coaches, head coach, whatever, accountable about organization, different things. What's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on Scott Turner? What'd you see against the Dolphins? What'd you see with Scott? What'd you see with Norv? Going in there and trying to infuse some life into this Raiders offense. And do you think AP survives this whole thing?
Whoa.
I think it's going to be hard for AP to survive it. I think Mark missed his opportunity. He had Jim Harbaugh out there. Jim Harbaugh wasn't a Raider assistant. We hired him in 2001. He was part of the Raider team. He was part of the Raider history, and he let him go because he listened to the players and he hired Antonio Pierce. I thought last week the Raiders' offense actually looked good. I thought Philbin did a really good job of improving their offensive line. I thought they got the ball out of Minshew's hands rather quickly. They didn't have the ball very often because Miami controlled it. The defense has really taken a giant Mother May I step backwards, and they were playing better at the end of last year, and they're not playing anywhere near as good this year. Miami had their way, but look, the problems for the Raiders have been they listen to the players, they listen to the alumni. Mark Davis he has a group of people he listens to that are not necessarily understand pro football and what it takes to win. And if you're in a division playing against Andy Reid, playing against Sean Payton, and playing against Jim Harbaugh, you better bring somebody to the dance that compete with them on an intellectual, strategic level. I'm not sure they have that right now. I don't know where they go, but it's interesting that Mark's selling off pieces of the team. And certainly he should rely on Tom Brady to help him pick the next coach if he does make a decision, because one thing Brady does know is what great leadership's all about.
Okay, a lot was said there about the Raiders. Obviously, you have a lot of passion about the Raiders. I think Endeavor got 7.5% of that.
Yeah.
Good deal.
You know what that is?
That is a good deal.
The brains at Endeavor, okay? TKO Group, Endeavor. I mean, there's a lot of different things. They're big ones.
Yeah, they're smart.
And they are, I don't love what happened with Jersey Mike's. That's a whole other conversation.
Yeah,
that's right. A whole other conversation.
You're right.
Okay, Lombo, we only have about a minute left here. What are some of your picks we should be thinking about this weekend as you're swinging a hot bat?
I like the Ravens to bounce back. I think you get Lamar on that carpet. Look, I love the Harbaugh Bowl. I think it'll be a really good game. I think both teams, but I just think the Ravens are the better team. They played better defensively last week. They needed to play that. I think certainly that to me would be a good play there. I think Arizona coming off the bye, they can run the football against Seattle. Look, I don't love Arizona on defense, but I think if the weather's good in Seattle, and that's a big if, you got to check on that. I think Arizona's an undervalued team. They're playing good, and I think James Conner has been one of the best stories, Harrison and Kyler Murray. So I like those two games.
Tyler said basically he didn't like that he wasn't allowed to play football last week during the bye week. Love that.
Yeah.
They're hot. They're playing well. They're playing well, Pat. They really are. But I think this Baltimore team, this is a must-win for them, and it's a great battle between the two. But I think Lamar in this situation is good to play.
You're the man, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Lombardi.
Thank you,
brother.
All
right. That was a great first hour.
Yeah, unbelievable.
As we wrap up here, thanks to Ram Trucks, we'll have another Ram Trucks competition this week as Mount Boom remains champion of the Ram Truck segment. We got some good contenders. We got a running back in this one, another punter in this one.
Okay. What?
Yeah. Ram Truck is going to be good later on in the program. We'll have living legend John Jones, the greatest of all time, join us in the next hour. Kevin O'Connell, head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, will join us at 2:05 Eastern. A.J. Hawk, obviously, big one over in Columbus this weekend. Chuck Pagano is going to make his picks. He's going to get off the schneid. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. We'll see you on the other side.
Belle Sessions, who got here at 3 a.m. this morning, was the winner. Her ticket was pulled, and you thought to yourself immediately, what, Belle?
I knew I couldn't do it, and he was next to me, and he said that he could. So we're splitting it.
Okay, so Bell Sessions made the decision to talk to my man, Henry Silver, who Henry got here yesterday at 6 p.m. He's been waiting for this moment. Now, Henry, you told her that you could make it. Why do you think that's the case? Have you ever kicked a ball before?
I've kicked a ball before. I've played soccer my whole life. I think I can do it.
This kick is for $150,000. You said you would split it in half, right? Yes, sir. Okay, so let's make it $200,000. If you make it, you will both get $100,000. Where are you from, Henry?
I'm from Fishers, Indiana.
Who's your favorite NFL team?
The Colts.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Come on, bro. Hell yeah. To hell with the Falcons. That was rude. They didn't deserve that. I like that. Henry, 33 yards, $100,000 for you, $100,000 for her, $200,000 to hurricane relief, $400,000 on the line. Henry, are you ready?
Of course.
Have you ever said anything bad about kickers?
Of course.
Shut up. Let's go. Now, here in Athens, Georgia, it would be beautiful if $400,000 would be up for grabs. Why don't we double it because the Georgia Bulldogs. So, $800,000 kick right here, Henry. But what I want to let you know is you're not getting a second opportunity. I don't care if this entire place starts chanting for a second kick. One kick, 800,000 racks, 400,000 to hurricane relief, 400,000 to you two split, 200 grand each. Henry Silver from Indiana for Bell Sessions. Let's go, Henry! Oh, my... Henry! Henry! Come in, buddy! Come in! Let me see this. Let me see this, Henry. That was amazing. I mean, he walked in like, Henry! Congratulations, Henry! Congratulations, Bell! Dude. Congratulations, Georgia! What a morning! College game day's the greatest. College football's amazing. Bell, you just won $200,000. You're a champion.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You ping.
Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this NFL Week 12 Thursday, November 21st already.
Yeah.
Hour 2 starts now. Football! 1 week from Thanksgiving.
Wow. Yeah.
Happy holiday season.
Yeah.
Snowing out.
Happy football season.
Thrive.
Happy winter.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Holy hell, life is good. The Toxic Table's here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Drake May, I just watched Dan Orlovsky this morning. Would have been the number 2 overall pick for the draft if it was to go back instead of the 3rd overall pick.
Yeah, and that's right now. Just wait till he puts what he's going to put on field this weekend. He's going to say, Drake May should have been the number 1 overall pick.
Who's going to say that?
That's my Orlovsky right there. You just got a little preview.
Oh, I didn't know you had an Orlovsky.
I told you, I got these insiders. I got some of the people we talked to, and that's one of them.
Dan Orlovsky did something with Andrew Hawkins. Hawkins is brilliant.
Love Hawk.
Hawk is a great football mind, obviously a great pundit and analyst on ESPN. He's also a phenomenal entrepreneur. I think he has like an Oscar or some shit, I think, for something he created.
Yep.
He is into, and then he also has a virtual reality game that he basically co-created. Darius J. Butler is actually one of the voices on that particular game.
Offensive coordinator.
Offensive coordinator is his voice that's on it, so obviously we got a lot of pride in how that whole thing, and we love getting in the Oculus and doing our thing. Haven't been in a while, but you understand. Dan Orlovsky did something alongside Hawkins' virtual reality company, and this was brilliant.
Yeah.
Like if this was live, which we have been told it is. We've been told this is live. It was live. Phenomenal work by the tech, phenomenal work by Orlovsky, and obviously Hawk setting the entire thing up, hosting it. It was... Dan Orlovsky takes it on the shins, rightfully so.
Yeah.
For a lot of shit. Like a lot of shit. Because he steps into the batter's box for everything.
That's wild.
You're talking about being the designated hitter for every topic that happens in sports.
Yes.
So they're just throwing him in a batter's box. Right, Dan? Wind him up like he's fucking Woody or whatever from Toy Story, and just send him out there. Hey, we need you to. Hey, why don't you? And he just every time he
I'll do it.
I mean, he's going. He's trying to hit home runs on everything. So naturally, with his position, he's going to put himself in spots to look like a dumbass. And that dumbass Dan happens a lot. But whenever he gets into his bag and is really doing what he is best at, which is breaking down the film, chit-chatting about actual football and decision-making from a quarterback perspective, from a guy that, has been in a lot of quarterback rooms, has seen it happen up close and personal, and a good communicator. It's like, this thing I assume they're going to win some awards for. They should. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, and I'm not exactly sure if it's the same exact programming or whatever, but actually earlier on in the year when Drake May wasn't playing, Mayo and some of the offensive coaches referenced Drake May getting a lot of reps in the virtual reality headset. I don't know if this is the same exact one, but like even NFL buildings are using this. And to what you said, breaking down the film and everything, that is why actually when Dan Orlovsky talks about Drake May, I feel better about it because I know he is watching the film and does know what he's talking about when it comes to that, even though he is a dipshit and he does a lot of dumb things.
Not all the time. He is
not all the time.
I hope he heard all this
sometimes.
because he did throw a hissy fit last week when Ty said his name about Coach Sirianni. Sorry, Dan.
Well, once again, that's on Dan because that is what Dan was doing. So, I feel like we're stern but fair with Dan Orlovsky.
Sure.
I feel like that is how we kind of treat him. But whenever he does stuff like this, it's like must watch.
Yes.
Hey, way to go, Dano.
Way to go, Dan.
This wasn't the 4th and 2 that won the game. This is the 3rd and 9 that's set up to get to the 4th and 2 that never. And now look, they're bringing pressures. This is what Spag does. We don't have enough. We got a running back here, okay? Here's the running back. Lights him up. See him. Here's Josh Allen's view. He's going to pick up this guy that's coming. He knows this guy is going to be free inevitably. Steps
that's
up
your
in it.
problem.
Yeah, that's your problem.
You got to handle that dude.
And it was
that's
awesome.
On the quarterback. He was to be able to talk the way his brain works.
Quarterback.
Like unbelievable. Talk through all that stuff. Point. Change,
and I don't think he had
highlight, and not fly, don't miss a beat, and then know exactly what's happening.
I don't think he had one flub with the tech either.
No, that's what very most impressive.
Because we assume, to your point, about him sometimes being a dipshit.
Yeah.
And we know he has that iPad. That's where he kind of made his bones. Was on that iPad.
Yeah.
But in that thing, he had to go from like highlighter to like arrows to circles to playing it, slowing it down back. Dan, way to go, buddy. That might be the future right there, Dan.
People were saying he's got a lot of experience in the VR without the football.
What do you think there? What do you mean?
Let's just say he's a big POV guy.
What do you mean?
Talking about pornos.
He's not going to be happy with you.
Now, I don't know if that's true, but that's what people on the internet were saying.
I've heard about 1,000 ex-NFL quarterbacks come out and say, porn's the devil.
Yeah.
You're right.
Isn't that like kind of the thing?
Yeah, I co-sign it too.
Every once in a while, I'll just be scrolling through social media, and I'll just learn a lot about somebody very quickly that I've known for a long time. And boy, I guess the bopping gets to a point where people just can't. They look in the mirror.
A couple punters too.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Idle hands.
Always what?
Yeah.
Always the Watts.
Yeah, it is always the
always the Watts that are seemingly saying porn's the devil.
Yeah. They say it's like getting on a plane and thinking you're going to end up in
Houston, and then all of a sudden you get off the plane and you're in Washington, and it's like, how did I get here? What am I doing?
Yeah. And then some people say, look, get a camera set up on yourself and how you look while you're doing it. It's like, I'm just trying to do social media right now.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to view some photos. I learned a lot about you and what you're doing in there. That's been a wild development for social media for me.
Mm-hmm.
Just like maybe not people that I've met like personally, but I know of, and we have an internet relationship.
Sure.
And I'm scrolling through, and all of a sudden there's a full dedicated, like 1:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Just a full dedicated, hey, stop watching other people have sex for your own enjoyment. It's like, holy shit.
Okay.
That's a real movement. So you're saying Dan isn't one of those guys?
I'm not saying he's one of those guys. I'm saying to our point about how well he handled the tech of the VR, people on the internet were saying, hey, is this guy handling the tech this well because of the fact that he's in there all the time doing some unsavory things? I don't think he's doing that.
No, we don't think that's the case at all.
At all.
VR's been around for a long time. It's been in football buildings for a long time. The backup quarterback, you remember how we filmed all the practices?
Yeah.
Even the backup quarterback, that's how they got their reps, was on that. So I think he was a backup for a minute.
Uh-huh.
And maybe I don't think it was long enough ago like we still had VR available.
What was that room in the back of the indoor training facility?
That was it.
There was
We had
like
the military come in and put that thing together and the virtual reality stuff, and you could program that thing so you could send, let's say you send the secondary and linebackers in there, and you put offensive formation, shifts, motions, this, that, and put a call sheet to it. Time in the off season.
That's awesome.
And they've got 50, 60 plays, and they could sit in there and program that thing, and they had the bodies, not X's and O, but real bodies, break a huddle, come to line of scrimmage, line up in a 2x2 motion from 2x2 to 3x1. The call would be sitting there, so the linebacker could sit there. Secondary would be in the back. They'd be in the front, just like they were lined up against this offensive formation. Okay, we're playing under 63 sky. They come out, okay, 2x2, we're playing 6. They go this way, we're going cover 3. Boom, boom, go through all that and get 50, 60, 70, 80 reps in no time.
Without any scout team guys having to mess up the card, without any run time or setup time. This is just getting plugged in and bang, it's here. Human error is in everything. When you talk about just like those minutes that you save and the reps that you're able to get and the wear and tear on anybody's legs that you can save, brilliant stuff. What year was that?
That was 15 or 16. And then when I went to Chicago.
15?
No, 2000.
2000.
I thought talking about coach, so.
So when I went to Chicago in 2019 and 2020, right? That new facility they built up there was a meeting rooms. We had an indoor turf like this, and then this huge wall. And so we would go out there and do defensive walkthrough, and we'd put on the program all the formations, shifts, motions, and all the calls. So we'd be standing there, make a call. They'd look at the wall. Bodies would be up on the wall, 2x2, 3x1, bunch, stacks, all different personnel groups, 12 personnel, 11 personnel, and we'd get through a shit ton of calls. Just to your point, like you didn't have to re-huddle, show a card, break a scout team out. You still did that outside some, but you could get done so much more.
Yeah, and I think whenever we went out to Stanford for a Thursday night football game, they actually had headset virtual reality, nowhere near how good that was there, but like a practice from the camera that you were talking about, and basically just showing. The quarterbacks were using it just to show what the looks could be, and then they would fire through. And then I think they were even answering questions, like a quiz. So I think there was even like a quiz. Where are you going with the ball with this? Where are you going with this? While you put it through. Technology's wild. It's only making the sport better. Speaking of making the sport better, ladies and gentlemen, from Attica, Ohio, a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup winner, and the all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, A.J. Hawk.
Yeah,
A.J., do you guys have any virtual reality or tech stuff like that?
Yeah, what Chuck was talking about in Chicago, they put that in Green Bay. It was the same thing, like a small indoor walkthrough kind of facility with turf, and they had the big wall, and we do the same thing. Defensive walkthroughs, you can put it up there, motion, shift, everything. It's pretty sweet. I can't even imagine. I bet now it's way better than it was.
Because a whole entire defense can plug in.
Yeah.
Right? A whole entire defense can plug in with the price of these things and how available they are. And you can still go through all your communications, too, if you want to. Sitting down in a meeting room, people can be getting rehab. They can be getting literally ice and everything like that while going through. And the mental reps are the thing that you're trying to get the most. That's why some teams are a more walkthrough team. You could do walkthrough and meetings seemingly in one place. I didn't even think about that. That's a whole new ball game.
Next level.
That is a whole new.
You remember how we had the beanies, and we had the colored beanies, and blue were tight ends, red were wide receivers, green was the tailback, yellow was the fullback. So all those colors were designated up on there. So once they saw them, guys could actually line up and know, okay, where's the passing strength? So the nickel knew, okay, passing strength's over here. This is where I go. So
practice squad guys messing up the formation of the card. Awesome. Just like so expected, but so mad every time it happened. It was literally on the run it again. Defensive end, you're playing wide receiver right now. Okay, we need you to go.
So it had a BN on it, right? For the wide out BN, bottom of the numbers, right?
Yep.
And he lines up TN, top of the numbers. Okay. Bottom of the numbers is towards the sideline. Okay, that's outside if you look at the fucking number. Okay, top of the number is closest towards the hash. Yeah. Can we not read a card?
Yeah, that is. So I played quarterback for the first regime. Second regime didn't let me do anything.
Why is that?
Didn't let me do anything.
Coach.
They told me to go work on actual punting and kicking. That'd be cool. Worked out just for just so we have it all
fun.
Just so we have an understanding here. You know, and even throwing to the DBs, used to do that.
Yep.
Chuck comes over. Excuse me.
Here's my game now.
And he did, and he could spin it. So, you know, hey, why don't you go work on punting and that whole thing? But whenever I used to play quarterback against the like the linebackers in the second half or whatever, it's like reading the card and then going in and then knowing that a guy just ran the wrong route. Just being like, yep, that ain't. And then defensive coach, one of them, whether it's the linebackers coach isn't getting the right look or if it's the secondary coach isn't getting the right look, they're the most pissed, the quickest, because they are looking for this exact thing to happen. Like, hey, we need this. This exact play has to happen. Some guy who's been on the team for 4 days, not going to make it to 5 days, just ran the wrong way. He's cut. That guy's not even, I never see that guy again. Never see him again.
So I hang out at Boise State on Tuesdays, watch practice and stuff. College ball, because it's all no huddle, it's all tempo, right? So they've got like 3 groups of scout teams. They've got 5 different card coaches, and they all have the same book. And they're showing, and the line got a wide guy with wideouts on this side, a guy with wideouts, a guy with the backs. It's unbelievable how organized.
How do you get a good look? Well, you do virtual reality.
Yeah.
That's literally, I think that's the best way to get a good look.
For them guys to see that, though, at that pace, they're running 100 plays in college ball.
Okay, so John Jones' conversation will be moved, I think, to tomorrow. Something came up in the schedule. I have no idea what it is. From our understanding, it was just a scheduling thing that happens. We'll talk to John Jones tomorrow.
Nice.
John, can't wait to chat with you.
Hell yeah,
tomorrow.
John.
Whenever it is. Hey, I can't wait to ask him.
He's too good. He's too good.
I can't wait to ask him about that. Can't wait to just ask him about it. Hey, at what age did you just start, like, how about that one?
That'll work.
How about that one? You know how Larry Bird chose that one night, just play left-handed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
50.
I think John Jones should commit to a fight where he says, you know what? No fists, just elbows. The entire fight. I'm not even going to use my hands. And just, I mean, he's probably too far along in his career now. The people he's going to fight are going to be way too good. I can't wait to talk about what's next for him. Is it Pereira? Is it Aspinall?
Yeah.
Is it retirement and the whole thing? I guess that conversation will come tomorrow or another day. We cannot wait for that. Let's start talking about this game this evening a little bit, AJ Hawk. AJ, Steelers, Brownies, AFC North battle. And whenever you think of this, you think hard-nosed football. You think tough football. Obviously, there's the T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett storyline. Myles Garrett wins Defensive Player of the Year. And in his eyes, he didn't appreciate how T.J. acted. T.J. owes him an apology. Now, once again, I do believe that was not a serious statement. He was just saying it in a comment. When you read it, it can be definitely different than whenever you hear it. But this one feels like it's going to be a slobber knocker, as good old JR used to say. AJ, what are your thoughts on what the style of game will be tonight?
Yeah, so if I'm not mistaken, Lombo said this is the coldest NFL game Jameis will have played in. Is that correct?
Yes, and we have not double-checked that.
No.
But we assume that Lombo is accurate in that particular stat.
I mean, either way, it's not like it's -20 tonight, though. It's going to be okay. It's not going to be terrible, I don't think. What's it going to be?
Well, no. And we've always talked about this. Wouldn't you rather have it be -20 versus like 35 and rain?
Personally, rain is the worst part.
Cold rain is by far the worst. Cold rain is tough.
Cold snow, I love. I actually feel like cold with snow feels warmer.
It does. It does.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like that is, and I don't know if it's just because optically you're like, oh, this is snow. This is really cool, or why it feels that way. Just bitter, chilly, windy cold.
Oh, my God.
Bad.
Nightmare.
I think rain cold, the worst. Bitter, windy cold, second. Then I think winter, snow, cold, definitely the best of the options. And if it's rain and it's Cleveland, it's going to be windy. So this is rain, wind, cold, which is combination of
all of it.
Worst colds.
The top
all
two.
the lake, everything off mistake on the lake. I mean, it's,
whoa.
it's
You coached there for 4 years, Charles.
That's his opinion on Cleveland and Tones and Nick's in the back.
I just laughed.
And my family's from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that
and,
wind is going to be whipping off that lake.
And cold.
Bad. You know how bad it hurts, like when you get a finger caught between two helmets when you're trying to tackle somebody?
Every hit. And they're going to find out early. You know, like this is a game, and obviously Chubb's back, but this is a game where Naj, with his size and with how he's been able to run, and Arthur Smith, obviously we know his style of play calling, what he's been for the Steelers, what he was for the Titans way back whenever he had Derek. It's like there's a chance Naj has a night tonight where he really cements himself as one of the top backs in the league.
That would be awesome against this Cleveland rushing defense, which hasn't been great. And, you know, it was Taysom Hill, who's not exactly a running back, but he went off last week. But no, Naj had 300 consecutive 100-yard games in the middle of the season. He hasn't the last two games. So, no, it'd be nice if he got back to that. And we just, ran the ball 45 times and got out of there tonight and called it a day.
Yeah.
Turnovers are going to be key, right? In weather games, right? Pitt's plus 11, which is number 2 in the National Football League.
University.
Cleveland's minus 5 on the season. Pittsburgh, excuse me.
The
university.
I
got you. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
That's
No,
what
it's
I mean,
okay.
100%.
Hey, it's okay. You're not the only
100%.
one.
Pittsburgh is plus 11, which is really, really good. Cleveland's minus 5 turnover margin on the season.
Are those fumbles or those picks? What are they? I think I don't know if Jameis is going to be given a lot of opportunities to throw picks tonight. Doesn't feel like any team is going to be providing a lot of opportunities to throw picks.
Well, you never know. Stefanski threw it 50 times in that one game against the Steelers.
Yeah, but there was a little bit of a there was something.
Two-time coach of the year. You know, Tomlin's never won coach of the year. That's crazy.
That's not real.
That's real.
Heard that this morning.
He's the favorite right now.
Never won it. Stefanski's got 2. Riddle me that.
Who votes on the coach of the year?
Yeah, Tony, what the hell you been doing?
First year. I don't know what to tell you.
It was you.
Those are your people.
Those are your peers.
Not before this year.
Speaking of your peers that do Mike Tomlin's never won coach.
That's
of the year.
crazy.
That feels
not even once.
No losing seasons ever.
That might be why.
I don't want to say
No,
the word.
I think we're all thinking what you're thinking.
I don't want to. That feels.
Maybe this is the.
What's happening?
I don't like that one bit.
That is kind of fishy.
That is, isn't it?
A little bit.
That is a little fishy there. I don't like that. Hey, I don't have a vote, but I would like to cast my vote right now.
Yeah.
For reparations for what
yeah.
has happened
Amen.
over the last 18 years of this entire coaching run for Tomlin. I like to vote him coach of the year because he should certainly have at least one piece of hardware in that desk, in that office, in this entire thing.
Sounds like people are voting for him and his ballot's maybe going missing. Missing in the mail or I don't know. Hey, never showed up.
Some extra ballots, you're saying?
He's on my list.
I got one. I missed the whole season.
Yeah, this guy
I got one. I missed every game.
Hey, it's like, once again, that's exactly what we're talking about.
Italian, huh?
So we got AP Tones. 10 coaches up here.
Here we go.
Okay, one-third of the league. One-third of the league is up there.
Who are you going to take out?
Are these in specific order here? Like Coach Tomlin's up there on the top left in the one position?
He is the favorite, so I don't know if D-Bone did it by favorite or however he did it or whatever. But no, I mean, obviously this list started with 32 at the beginning of the year, and
of course,
and each week they have whittled down, and now this is 10. And then each week, I could probably drop one out after this week. We'll see. I don't know who you're going to take out though. They've all been great.
Okay, so you're not going to take out Coach Tomlin.
Well,
what Coach?
Wait, do we find out before?
I'm not going to, but it sounds like Tomlin might as well not even be on the ballot because he can't win.
That's fucking believable.
Yeah, it is.
That's just one of those ones you just assume.
Yeah. Oh, he's got 3 of them.
And you can't do that, I guess, in this world that we live in.
Yeah, could take
God help us
McDermott
all.
out. There'll be 9 left. He'll love that.
McDermott?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Is this awarded before the Super Bowl? Is this awarded before everything's done?
Yeah, when do you put your vote in?
Right after the Wednesday after Week 18.
Okay, the Wednesday after Week 18. So it's a full season. Playoff, how you operate and perform there doesn't matter, which makes no sense.
Because maybe awards night is the Thursday before the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You would just give it to the Super Bowl winning coach, you would think a lot of times.
Sure.
Yeah, hey, who's the best coach?
Tell
Well,
that to
the
Bill.
one.
I mean, has Bill Belichick ever won it? Because
Bill Belichick has never
if
won.
I remember, I know at least in the last 15, Bill's only won executive of the year. I don't know if he's won the coach.
Bill's
of the year.
won it 3 times.
Yeah, the last 15 is what it was. Okay, 2010.
Super Bowls.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, that's 15.
Well, Coach Tomlin, I'll tell you what. You should have had one.
Yeah.
And we hope that happens.
Amen.
Hang in there. Hey, keep coaching. Maybe
You'll
one day, Coach.
It is a tough field, though, when Riverboat's got 2.
Ron.
Hey, shout out to Carolina Panthers, actually. QC Poorhouse. It's a Carolina Panthers sports bar down there in Charlotte. And maybe one of their coaches frequents that watering hole.
Sure.
And sent them a bunch of merch up here and said, if you want to. They love it.
Maybe.
And can't wait to stop by this place down in Charlotte. Great logo. Sun, footprint, obviously.
Yeah,
there.
sweet.
Great sweatshirt. Fits well. Not
Looks
crop.
nice. Good crew neck.
Not crop. Yeah, feels pretty good in there. So shout out to Riverboat Ron Dahn. Getting a big win for the Panthers. Tomlin has no shot.
No, he's not winning.
That is insane. That's a mind blower. I can't believe that's the case. Well, there's some things that need to change, obviously, in the NFL, and there's only one person we want to ask to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a new segment called Commissioner Chai. That's right. Yesterday, obviously, we had a question on the hashtag AskJage that said, JJ, let's say you were the commissioner for one day. What was the first thing you would do? Well, that carried over into a conversation today because Coach Chuck Pagano came in and said, there's something they need to change a little bit. There's something they need to extend. There's something that has gotten better but needs to get better. Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Commissioner Chuck to plead his case.
I think we're headed in that direction.
I think
as
so,
far
too.
as getting better.
Because
a year ago this time, the competition committee got together and ruled in favor of this replay assist, which we're all seeing, in real time, every Sunday, Monday, Thursday, whatever. These guys, officials are getting together, flags on the ground, and officials are getting together, and all of a sudden, flags picked up. Hey, replay assist is no bueno. It wasn't a hit to the head and neck area. Speaking of hits to head and neck area, we've got 3 plays, Pat.
Yep.
That we want to take a look at, and this was huge. This was early in this Minnesota at Tennessee, and this got a lot of attention. So, just in real time, how many flags got thrown in there? Right,
3.
All 3 of it, boom, 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 everybody, because it looks like unnecessary roughness. Hit to the head and neck area of this defenseless receiver, right? But when you slow this thing down, all right, and the league talks about all these plays, you slow this thing down, the defenders are doing a great job of using the shoulder, taking the head out of the play, which we want, and tackling and hits like this, lowering the target. And you could see that the result of it looks like he got hit in the head and neck, but he didn't.
Just a Ram truck?
Yeah.
That's just a Ram truck.
He didn't even jump. He stayed on the ground, too. He didn't jump up and hit his head.
Because that's a great point, man. When you launch and you leave your feet, that's one of the things.
Okay, so that's one play from this weekend.
And this led to Coach Callahan. He got unsportsmanlike, too. Another 15 yards. Add insult to injury because he was livid. Because we're all looking at the video boards, and we're watching it going, he didn't hit him in the head. He didn't use his helmet. He didn't hit him in the head and neck. That was a shoulder to the midsection. Okay, so you look at Denver and Atlanta. And this is a bang-bang play, right? And it looks like this guy's cage got rattled and we got a forearm to the back of the head. But when you slow this one down, he lowers his target, and it's all shoulder.
Perfect hit.
And just because in the video and the guys on the telecast, they're talking about, hey, he brought the flipper through. That's why they called it. You can't bring a flipper through. Well, that's just a byproduct of a guy putting his shoulder in there. And he's not using the flipper to hurt this guy. And then the last one was the Dallas, Cowboys and Texans. And it's kind of a bang-bang play again, right?
Oh.
And you watch.
Good hit.
That's Ram truck.
Yeah. It's a great hit. But you watch Petrie, right? Both those guys, it's shoulder, keeping the head out of it, lowering the target area, and delivering a blow. This is what they want. They want the head out of it. They don't want hits to the head and neck.
But we
these
still
things
want big hits.
But we want big hits.
Those flags couldn't come in
Absolutely, we want them. But it's bang, bang play, and you can't, so they need help. So the thing right now is replay assist. You get a hit to the head and neck area of a passer, a guy in the pocket, a quarterback in the pocket, and flags thrown, they can get involved. That's one of the components of that. Illegal man downfield, that's one of those. Hits out of bounds, that's one of those things. So what they're going to do after, 3 of these happen on the same, weekend of pro football, they're going to probably go look at this and say, hey, look, just like college reviews targeting all the time, and they come back and say, yes, it was. Mm-hmm. No, it wasn't. Pick the flag up. Kid gets to stay in the game and keep playing. Hopefully, the competition committee gets back together this spring at the owners' meetings and makes a decision, hey, let's add hits to the head and neck area, down the field, outside the pocket, add receivers, defenseless receivers to this, so we can fix these.
Big penalties, 15 yards. That's good work, Commissioner Chuck.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Commish.
That's good pitch there. I think it should be on everything.
No matter what.
Everything.
Why wouldn't it already be Why wouldn't it already be there though?
And why is it on everything?
College does it.
There's so subjective on these things, and they're trying to, as hard as it is for these officials to officiate the game and follow the rule book in real time, it makes all the sense in the world. Again, timing a game, they don't want to slow down. They don't want to slow down the game to a certain point where we're throwing a flag on everything, or we can challenge everything. Belichick talked to you guys about it. Mm-hmm. Every owner's meeting I ever went to, he's like, hey, give everybody 2 challenges. Let us challenge anything and everything. But they don't want to take that out of the officials' hands. They don't want to make, because a lot of these calls, AJ, are subjective, and they're not all objective. So there's a lot of interpretation.
I think these aren't.
That's not subjective.
I don't think these are subjective. They're not subjective. Like there's a clear way on how they're teaching you to tackle and keep your head out of it, not launch all that. So it's not like PI where you can say, his hand was down around the hip, or you can
maybe a better way. The bang plays that need to be able to.
Yeah, they need help though. It happened because in real time these look nasty, but they're actually
Commissioner
fine.
Chuck, we appreciate the fact that you see how hard of a role Cleat and the boys have, and the ladies that are NFL refs, which is why we think this replay assist is brilliant. Just let it be for everything.
Yeah.
Just have it be a full-time thing. Literally everything. What are the subjective calls out there now at this point? Because they're trying to take the subjectivity out of the calls completely, right? Because we don't want different calls in the fourth quarter.
Offensive holding.
Yeah. That's the one call.
The big time you can't, like if you go, because it's like
everything's holding.
It's like
right?
once you open up Pandora's box, and you start adding this, and you start adding that, then it's like, okay, so they're really reluctant to
like pass interference, I guess, because the tugging
so hard, right? So hard. So once you open up Pandora's box, we say now you got to go. Well, we got to add this, then we got to add that. Then you're at that point where okay, everything is going to be replay assist, or everything can be challenged, and they don't want that.
Well, I understand like the holding for offensive linemen, and if AQ was here, he'd be saying, we don't need to be slowing down and zooming in on if every play is offensive holding or not. And I think corners would say the same thing, because that's a part of being a good corner is being able to get away with a little hold, a little grab, whenever where the ref is looking, where the ref isn't looking. So if you're to get a all 22 view of that and it's in there, that would certainly change that. But there has to be some sort of sentiment for if it's egregious. Like if you're egregiously wrong, like there should be a way for the replay assist just be like, for the good of all of us, including the sport in which we ref, pick that flag up. Like, like there is.
And they're going to come at times in games that are going to cost.
Thursday Night Football 3 weeks ago.
Cost one loss, cost you, you should be the 7th seed.
Chiefs Falcons.
But now you're at the 8th seed,
What was that, Vikings Rams?
Yeah. Yep.
Vikings Rams, the face mask thing, Darnold dead.
Safety.
See ya, it's over. That was a very clear, very obvious, very important part of the game. It's like if we have somebody up there already watching and they have access to get to the ref's ears, they should be able to go, nah, that was obviously hands. That was a face mask. That's 15 yards going the other way, as opposed to game over for the Vikings.
And I think that's why they're willing to open this thing up to these that are so obvious, especially because they don't have like we're sitting at home watching on these big screens and all the technology we have now. We're like, that's a miss.
He's got big screens all over the place.
everywhere.
That's a miss. How can we miss that? But in real time,
2 eyes.
It's really, really hard.
Which is why we think
fast the game's
replay
moving.
assist is great. And it has been a great development and a great addition to, the sport. Let's if that person has direct access already to an ear.
Exactly.
And if every single call they're going to kind of anyways have to talk about it, those egregious ones I think they should fix. Personally, I think they should. Don't you think, AJ? Don't you think they should be given a green light?
I assumed, honestly, that they had more freedom than they actually do right now. Like, yes. I really did. I assume if they're there, like some of the – I don't know. Yeah, it seems like common sense, but I know there's a lot more to it. I don't know. Do they not trust some of the replay assist people to make a decision that quickly? Do they feel like you have to look at it more?
Again, that's got nothing to do with it, whether they trust that guy or not. It's just like opening up Pandora's box. How much – slowing the game down –
Slow the game down, speeds the game up.
That is what I don't like, because I feel
if they got to stop and look – like if it's an easy one,
yes, that's what I'm saying. Like
those are easy.
All the ones that they've done this year, though, like when they have picked up a flag, it's been almost instantaneous. Like they're not going and looking at anything. So like it's like that's a cop out. It's like, hey, well, everyone bitches when we do this because it slows the games down. Like the replay assist stuff has not slowed the game down.
And you got to remember, like these things are only going to get involved too if there's a flag on the ground. If those hits happen,
if there's no
flag on around, there's no replay assist. It's not like the other side of the ball can go, hey, that was a hit to the head.
Okay, so they can't say, hey, you guys missed something big there, and then they just take the flag out and drop it.
Got to be a flag on the ground.
So they can't, like if there's a clear and obvious face mask and no flag is thrown, which is
that happen the other the one you're talking about,
right?
They
can't go that way.
They can't say, hey, you blew it.
Yeah.
And so, hey, that's a face. You guys missed that. Throw a flag. And the guy's sitting there, okay, put it back on the
Can't do that.
No, that's not happening.
Well, because I guess that could lead to situations.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine? Drop a flag. We're like, that close.
Yeah, especially in a big moment that potentially swings a gambler. And all of this is the reason why it's also heightened when it hasn't been in the past. And not that people haven't cared in the past, but there's no replacement refs happening in this era.
No.
With the amount of money that's being gambled on every single game. Can't happen. So whenever there's like things that are egregious that are taking place that are swinging millions and millions of actual dollars, it's hard not to get into the script talk whenever it's like the ref who's supposed to be the representative of not only the league but the sport as a whole is the reason why it goes there. Like that's why the replay assist I think is so valuable in this current era. Do they not let them turn on the mic? Like they're like not allowed to chit chat with the refs if there's no flag down or if it's not something that they're allowed to talk. They're not even allowed to turn on the microphone. Got it. So
they have the set of rules right now what replay assist can get involved with.
Right in front of them.
Right in front. Yeah, everybody knows what that is.
Yeah, so like for the holding ones, like I get offensive linemen, there's holding on every play. You don't want to be replaying, assisting that, but couldn't they just say like, hey, penalties of 15 yards or more? So like then at least it involves like a pass interference that's 40 yards down the field, and then you're not nitpicking like, oh, well, this guy was this close to or this much offsides. He timed the snap up and they didn't call it, but we need to review that. So couldn't they just make that type of stipulation? Because like a 5-10 yard penalty, of course, it's yards, it hurts, but like that's so much different than a 15-yard penalty, like you were saying, or a 30-yard PI, or a Kyle Pitts end of the game against the Chiefs. Because that was like the first blunder that the refs had was when Kyle Pitts fourth down against the Falcons and the Chiefs. Everyone's saying.
Well, was
that the one you said he got held?
No, he got the face. It was a face guard.
Yeah, and the guy didn't turn the ball.
Yeah, clear and obvious.
5-point game.
No, again,
holding's
as
tough.
long as
holding's
there's
tough.
no flag thrown, there's no flag on the field. That's never going to happen.
So what
where
we're
they're
saying,
going to be able to come in and say, hey,
Commissioner Us is saying.
Commissioner Chuck.
Commissioner Chuck is saying, hey, here's reality. That's what Commissioner Chuck just said. We need to add this to the stipulations. Commissioner Us, right, I think we're saying, if it's common sense and it's obvious, replay assist should be able to assist in the entire thing.
Or even like inside 2 minutes. Like, couldn't there be some sort of, obviously you can't challenge play inside 2 minutes. Couldn't there be like a, hey, inside 2 minutes, we can replay assist the shit out of this so that there isn't a situation where we screw this game up with the entire game on the line?
I don't ever think they're going to take it out of their officials' hands to that point. You know, and again, I can't reiterate enough. Having the opportunity to do what I did in 18, the year I set out with the officials, like we all got great respect for how hard that job is. But even more so now, working with those guys hand in hand for a year, my God, is it hard.
Which is why
they do a great job. They bust their asses.
We think they should be full-time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And we think they should get the assistive technology and 8K for everything so that they're not getting their asses booed out of
We can't even get cameras on every angle yet.
What's that, AJ?
Don't you think refs want the replay assist? I know the couple refs I've asked in games. They said we just want to get the call right, whether they're lying or not, like whether you have to pick their flag up or not. Like they just want the right call.
What was that game we were at earlier this year, the Lighthouse? We saw a ref get his penalty overturned.
It was the Steelers Colts.
It was the Steelers game
in the end zone. Yeah,
this dude picks up his flag, it gets overturned.
Really? Yeah.
For the next probably 45 seconds, just standing over there on the sideline, just not happy.
Well, they get graded.
Yeah.
You guys know that, right? And it costs them playoff games. It costs them Super Bowls. It costs them all those guys.
Yeah, they don't have to answer any questions ever about their grades, which is another big part of the problem.
I think they'll eventually come around to be more transparent, and be able like.
No, they won't.
I know it's always been a big gripe. Hey, as a head coach, you got to stand before the firing squad.
Yes.
And just, explain why you did what you did. Why'd you give the go-ahead on
the fake
certain? It's a great question. Scratching my head, I'm asking myself. I'll be asking myself that for as long until I'm put 6 feet under.
Listen,
it'll still probably come back to haunt me.
That's a good question.
That's a great question.
Next question. Hey, I got a question about with that one. So what was the? It was never supposed to get snapped. You see, it was supposed to be a false start if anything, or too many men on the field. Then we're just punting it back up. But you would never stand up because we snapped it with 14 people over top of it. Yeah.
Sure.
So, and then turn the game. Yeah, we get it. Yeah. Next question.
And I got up practice every day. He was hurt, so we had to back along. Why did we even talk about it?
Well, you had a guy from Stanford. You see, normally Stanford people are super intelligent, which this guy certainly is. He's done everything for us. He's been a jack of all trades, so we put him in a position. Probably shouldn't have done that. I guess now hindsight's 20/20. You do the whole thing. Next question.
I screwed.
So you put somebody that hasn't been in practice in. Once again, he wants Stanford. He is done.
I think we should move on.
Yeah, exactly. But these refs, if they do, they do the pool reporters. And then it's typed out. We never get video of it. Nope. It's never really, there's never any real follow-up. It's just, here's our answer. Take it. And then we're gone.
It's a ton of words on one sheet of paper.
Just it's the most old school, boring media that there is those refs and the pool reporters. Because nobody knows where it happens, how it happens. We just see this shit getting typed up or whatever.
Might just be Pelissero.
It might be.
I think he'd say this.
Yeah, it might not even be the refs giving answers.
Yeah,
we still have no idea. But we think that the technology should help them. And we think that they should have to answer some questions. To Jage's point, we think they should be full-time. Mm-hmm. We think they should be a team. And we think we should hold this ref team. They should be a team in themselves. The 33rd team. Who is it? The refs. They should be held in very high regard. Shout out to you, Commissioner Chuck.
Hell yeah, Commissioner
Chuck.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go from the state of the NFL to the world of the NBA. I believe there's going to be some news that is broke in a matter of moments.
Oh, wow.
Joining us now, senior NBA insider for ESPN, the ever-handsome Shams Charania.
Yeah,
What I need is Pat McAfee arms is what I need. I'm getting in the gym, baby.
Okay, you saw it. You saw it. Thank you for following along. Yes. Ryan Clark said on Monday night, I believe, when he was talking about Danielle Hunter's fit, which was a gold jacket, he said, have you ever seen the way Danielle Hunter is built? Which is very valid. He said, if I was built like him, I would only wear tank tops. I'd be Pat McAfee, but with actually muscular arms. And I was listening, watching at home. I'm like, what the? Wait, Danielle Hunter, definitely, absolutely jacked.
No doubt.
But I think I have some muscular. I've been getting on. So I just let Ryan Clark know that he was the inspiration to me getting after it yesterday morning, and he will continue to be going forward. Can always get better. I appreciate you doing that, RC. Just stacking it up. You know what I mean, Shams? Just stacking them up over here.
I don't know if I'm at your guys' level, but next time I'm in the Thunderdome, I might be inspired now to really get in the gym, and then I'll be in a white beater when I'm there. Or
it's a tank top.
Easy.
Don't wear one of those. Don't ever be one of those. Jeez Louise. I don't know what you're doing. In the Thunderdome, you showcase you're phenomenal. Shams can actually shoot.
Yeah, clean jump.
Shams can actually shoot in a sport like a button down.
Come on now. Come on. In a suit.
Okay, it was full suit. All right, I think you took the jacket off, but neither here nor there. You can get after it in the Hawk House. Come out, make some jumpers, and we'd be lucky to chit-chat with you about the NBA. I think you said there was some news potentially about this All-Star game. Now, we learned yesterday, I believe, on the internet, or maybe a few days ago, that the NBA All-Star game is going to go the route of like the NHL. There's going to be like 4 teams this year as opposed to 2 teams. Is that accurate? And what else do we know at this point, Chums?
It's a massive change, Pat. They're changing the All-Star game from obviously East-West, and then it was let's do drafts and draft teams and captains. It's going to be a 4-team tournament for the All-Star game this year in the Bay Area 2025. So it's going to be 3 All-Star teams, 8 players each, 24 total All-Stars, 8 players each, and then 1 team will be comprised of the Rising Stars winner. That's a game against the rookies and sophomores, comprised mostly of those players, some G Leaguers as well. On Friday night, the winner of that goes into Sunday. 3 All-Star teams, 1 Rising Stars team, and they're going to play 2 semifinal games up to 40 points, and the 2 winners advance to the championship game up to 25 points from what I'm told. So that's basically a quick burst. It's like street ball. It's like a pickup game. It's like you go to the gym and you're playing pickup basketball. You win, you stay on. You lose, you're obviously done. It's single elimination, and it's quick. There's not that time. We saw last year in the All-Star game. I mean, this was, by all accounts, I think players said it, embarrassing. I mean, Adam Silver publicly, privately, there were a lot of people disappointed in last year's All-Star game in your guys' home city. But the difference this year is, I'm told Stephen Curry, other All-Star players, they had a voice. Like, they were involved. They had an input in this process. They had an input in this tournament that's going to take place. And now there's not going to be that unnecessary time, right? When in the 3rd and 4th quarter, when LeBron James doesn't play or when players don't care or maybe don't care, you're not going to have that anymore. It's a quick burst. Get right to it. And I do think we're going to see players motivated for it.
Is there like a financial, you might have sat there and I didn't hear you. Is there, what's the financial reward here? Because I think that's the easiest way to make anybody try ever. Like the NBA Cup, $500,000 or $250,000, everybody on the bench. Just that financial reward seemingly made everybody heighten their intensity for it. For this, are they going to do that, or how's that kind of plan on working out?
I'm not quite sure yet on the prize money component of it, but I mean, you're right. That's what has led, NBA Cup. Now, I will be honest. Some of the salaries in the NBA right now, I don't know how many players are fully motivated by just the salary when it comes to NBA Cup. I think coaches are very motivated by the NBA Cup prize money. But I do think anytime you add money into the equation, guys will have an increased level of motivation. And I think the league, the NBA, the Players Union, I think they're all trying to figure out exactly what the prize aspect looks like.
Get a sponsor in there. Make real money on that thing, because then you'll get those teams actually trying. And if it's just quick burst, single elimination, you can go on a little bit of a run. It's not too taxing on the body either. Hey, Nick, when the NHL did this multiple team thing, did it make the NHL experience better? I don't remember. I think so, right?
Absolutely. It was a big hit right away because it was so different. It was fresh. It was they went through a 3-on-3 multiple team tournament format, and it just speeded everything up. It was fresh, new, exciting, and it got a lot of eyes on it.
And I think you can get exposed if you're not trying. Like, there's going to be some teams that are going to try, like naturally going to try.
Clearly.
So then you get kind of exposed quickly, and then you're kind of out. Like, we don't even need to really deal with you. I think this is a good idea by the NBA because their All-Star game.
And you got the Rising Stars. Like, imagine losing to the Rising Stars, right? They're the team of first and second year players, and you're going to lose to them as an All-Star team. That's you don't want to be the team, the All-Star team full of 8 All-Stars losing to the Rising Stars. But I do think the fact that this is quick, it's right to it. It's like a pickup game. I do think that's going to bring some added incentive to have a level of competition.
Will this change anything else
anytime
around?
you add single elimination, it'll be like that.
Yeah, absolutely. If some teams are just going to want to lose. We watched that last year whenever we were at some of the skills challenges. There was clearly a couple teams that did not want to win. But with the skill challenges, is this going to help the whole weekend? Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Shams, when we're thinking about the three-point contest, the dunk contest, the stuff that used to be so great, back in the day, are there going to be stars that do that type of stuff? And then at the three-point contest, is there a chance we see like a Caitlin Clark appearance like we did with Sabrina last year?
Yeah, I think Stephen Curry, Sabrina Ionescu, that was the highlight. I was there at All-Star Weekend. That was the highlight to me, I think to a lot of people watching All-Star Weekend, was that shootout that took place between those two. I'm told the plans are there for them to bring that event back, with them as obviously the two people returning, but they are working actively. Stephen Curry, Sabrina Ionescu, I think they're doing some recruiting right now to bring in, from the NBA side, a guy like Klay Thompson, we know about him. He's the other Splash brother, played in the Bay Area, so you bring him into the mix. And then Caitlin Clark is the player that the league,
it's going to cost you.
The participants here are involved in and trying to recruit her into this. So imagine that you have Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson on the NBA side, then you get Sabrina Ionescu, Caitlin Clark on the WNBA side. There's definitely efforts being made to make this happen. I think we'll see this event. The question is who exactly will be in it, and that's all going to be a work in progress. But that was the highlight of the weekend. And so if you can make it a 2-on-2, or let's say you do one part of the event on Saturday night, you leave the other part of the event Sunday night. Like imagine having like Klay versus Caitlin Clark, or Stephen Curry against Caitlin Clark on one of those other nights. Like that could add some extra excitement as well.
Yeah, getting Caitlin there will certainly be a boost for the NBA.
No doubt.
You get Caitlin anywhere, it's a big-time boost. She will not be doing that 3-on-3 league.
No, she will not.
Remember, we talked to...
B-Stu?
Yes, B-Stu, whenever this league was announced. And I said, is Caitlin Clark a part of this? We have a lot of names involved. Obviously, we're going to try. And then allegedly, they made a big push to get Caitlin. And I guess Caitlin said, I'm going to pass on that whole thing. Now I'm worried about the league.
Yeah, uh-oh.
Yeah, should be.
Now I am. Now I'm a little bit worried. Not that they won't be able to hold their own. 3-on-3 basketball obviously has done great. We've seen...
There's some big players in that league. Like Asia Wilson's in that league. Drew Lloyd's in that league. Like there's some big WNBA players
B-Stu's
in
a
that
goat,
league.
obviously. Starting to start thing.
B-Stu, like Nafisa Collier. There's a bunch of all-stars.
That playoffs continued, too, after the Fever stopped playing.
Yeah.
It did.
It didn't.
Yeah, it did.
Did the sellouts?
It did. It continued afterwards. AJ has a question for you about the NBA.
Shams, what's the latest with Luka? I hear rumors about him going around. Good stuff.
Yeah, Luka Doncic. He's out tomorrow. They have that big game against Denver on ESPN. He is out for that game. He's going to be out at least a week. He's got a right wrist strain, from what I'm told. What's going to happen here is they're going to immobilize his wrist over the next few days. And then starting, the latter part of the weekend, early next week, he's going to have to strengthen that wrist. So could be a week, could be more potentially. He is a quick healer. He does try to push through injuries sometimes. But this is a situation now the Mavericks are going to have to deal with injury-wise. They've been beat up lately.
So not good stuff from that AJ had been hearing.
I read the wrong stuff, Shams. That's my bad.
Yeah, and AJ, I like that you have a completely optimistic stuff that you read, but that obviously not good stuff. And then we hear there's also some Chris Middleton stuff happening around the NBA right now.
Yeah, Chris Middleton, I reported yesterday on NBA Countdown. He has been medically cleared to play. He has not played yet this season. He had bilateral ankle surgery in the offseason. And he's trying to get back out on the court. For him, he physically doesn't feel ready. So, as an athlete, you have two. You guys played you have two different sides. You have the medical side. Medically, he's cleared. Physically, he's done 3-on-3. He's been trying to ramp up the last month. He just does not feel there. They need him bad. When he wants to come back on the court, he wants to be Chris Middleton. He doesn't just want to be a shell of himself. But this is a team that obviously needs him back in the lineup. I'm curious from your guys' perspective. Like, let's say the doctor says you're medically cleared. And if you don't feel right, like what's the push and pull there?
So if you're medically cleared in the football world, normally you're just going to go. Like that is kind of how it goes. In the NBA, though, with how long their season is, how much it is, I can understand why some of the guys are very much like, let me get a little bit healthier here before we start this journey. But that's be who you can afford to be. I assume in basketball, there's also a lot of guys on those teams that can't just be like, nah, actually, I'm not going to play.
No.
And then they're like, okay, well, that's not the case. Be who you can afford to be. Chris Middleton has obviously earned that. Speaking of this similar type situation, Ty has a question for you, Shams.
Yeah, Shams, you came on the show the other day and broke the news about the big team meeting with the Sixers, and then Joel Embiid said yesterday, like, hey, whoever leaked that was a piece of shit. So I'm curious, you don't have to out your source, obviously, but are you worried that, like, Joel Embiid might have the beam set on you? He might want to beat your ass now.
I mean, I'm just literally doing my job. That's literally all I'm doing.
I don't think he cares.
I don't care. He hates your job.
He's not worried about that. Joe don't give a shit.
He's American now. Okay.
I do think there's a level of respect on both sides, but I would say
I don't think so.
that in every
Why do you flop
situation
on that free
there
throw?
are dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of people with knowledge of anything, and I literally every day just want to do my job.
Do you hate, though, that whenever you get this piece of information, you immediately know that this team's culture is crap? Like, obviously, the insiders, and whenever they leak information, that is a good tell for us who have ever been a part of a team, like, they have somebody over there that is loose. Now, in the world that we're in, there's somebody that's going to let something out seemingly everywhere, but like the great teams don't have this type of shit happen, let alone in the meetings, but then have it get leaked. As soon as you get that information, you immediately know, like, I should not know this, and also, this is not great news. Do you have that thought or no?
I mean, you I guess you think about it a little bit, but honestly, like when I heard after the game, the Sixers lost in Miami on Monday night, Nick Nurse, it takes him an hour and a half to address the media, and he announces that the team had a team meeting. The first thing that comes to my mind is what happened in that meeting. Like, I want to go dig up what happened in that meeting. Now, what I dug up it might be nothing. Nothing was said. We sat and looked at each other for an hour and a half. That could be it. And then there's nothing to talk about. But there was some substance. And it's been a tough year for Philadelphia, right? When you think about it, a lot of injuries. We know Joel Embiid, his shape, there's a lot made there. They need to get healthy. First and foremost, they need to build chemistry on the court. And I think they're trying to do that right now. But, it's like every single day there's something else with them, right?
Paul George got hurt, right?
Yeah, he just got hurt.
Paul George got hurt again. So good luck over there, Philly. You're going to figure it out. And to Gumpy's point, why did Joel flop on that free throw? I don't know basketball well enough. Every once in a while when I'm shooting here, I'm like, he was doing that same. Is that what he was doing? Or do you have pain?
I personally think, like, when I watch that, I feel like I'm just picturing myself shooting a free throw. I think his reaction was more like, dang, like, I'm about to miss it. Maybe he thought he was missing the free throw, so that was just like, so you have that outward reaction.
Makes sense.
But again, only Joel Embiid can answer that, so
Might be
maybe
Space Jam,
that
to be
information should leak. Maybe that information should leak.
Well, I think anytime you hear about a team meeting and you say, I want to know about what's happening in there, and you said sometimes there's no substance, and then sometimes, there's a lot of stuff. I think anytime, there's a lot of stuff, that means that team didn't talk about what we're going to talk about to people whenever they ask about this particular meeting, which leads to, for the Philadelphia 76ers. Ladies and gentlemen, a man who just quite literally does his job in a beautiful fashion, Shams Charania. Member of NBA Countdown.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what, we're going to follow the NBA season closer because Shams.
I mean, we don't have to. We know who's going to win.
Who?
Your Boston Celtics, baby. 19's coming home.
Huge win over the Cavaliers.
Yeah, massive. And it was closer on the scoreboard than it really was.
What's going on with this team?
They stink out loud, brother. Hey, last year's run was fun. You better hold on to that thing. Hold on tight.
Boat raced last night.
I heard. I guess everybody.
By who?
I don't want Houston. I don't watch it, but I just get a lot of people telling me they stink from every other team's fan base.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back tomorrow reacting to tonight's game. Goodbye. Nailed it. Just hit it right on the screws.
Houston's good.
Houston's very good.
Yeah, just
like they're 11-4.
That is a tough bar. And
just to be clear,
they always win at home.
Ime Udoka, the guy who.
What's different about the Pacers, though?
They're
the same squad, right?
I just think they're not playing good. Like the shots that were falling last year aren't falling this year.
Yeah,
they'll be all right. They'll be fine.
They do play a lot of guys. I don't know if that's always been their MO. Like, I'm looking at the sheet yesterday, and who knows, when some guys were playing, but they played like 13 dudes.
They're pretty banged up. They've lost some guys to big injuries as well.
Okay, so the tweets that I'm receiving every single time the Pacers play any team from that team's fan base are a little bit out of context. Maybe not giving me the full story. maybe the Pacers get healthy, and maybe they play a lot of guys because they play a style, that's very quick. And later in the season, these teams are going to be banged up and tired. You're not going to be able to run with these Pacers, boys. Because the Pacers set the pace.
Yeah, they do.
It's in the name.
They do run. I think the reason, and Houston's going to be loud all year, I think the real reason they're talking a lot of junk is because our Prince, the guy who, holds
Puma?
Big Puma. He hasn't been playing too big as of late.
But sometimes.
To be honest, sometimes his costume last night didn't help his case either.
What?
I did see his costume last night.
That was a good costume.
And he says they're not costumes.
Of course.
That was a game costume.
Yeah.
Had to be.
I don't want to call him and ask him what the fuck's going on.
No, I don't think so.
He was like, Tyrese has a good jovial vibe about it.
Great mocks.
That is a part of who Tyrese is. You could tell when he was in here for the city thing, he was not necessarily thrilled to be doing that.
Yeah.
And then talking to him afterwards, it's like, I don't know what the hell's going on. But then whenever he goes,
that's why it's such a bummer, yeah.
When he just lights this place up, it's like, it's over.
He's back.
He's all the way. He'll find his time.
No doubt. It's
Did
so
they
early.
start slow last year?
Oh, okay.
What's that?
What's what?
Who's that?
Farnsworth Bentley.
No.
It's not.
That's Tyrese Halliburton.
Oh.
I like to shoot.
If I'm Philly's what? 2-11?
2-12, I believe.
2-12. If I'm 12-2, 13-1, Cleveland 15-1. Now, you sport whatever you want to sport. But other than that, if I'm not I'm laying low.
You're saying Tyrese needs to slow down his fashion?
Charles.
I love his fits. He can do whatever he wants to do.
That's not a fit. That is a costume. We all know that's a costume. He told me, I wear it to a game, I'll wear it anywhere else. It's like, no, you wouldn't.
Which is like a.
No, you wouldn't.
Then why haven't we seen him?
He's got to. You know what he's got to do?
Looks cool though.
He just got to
cool.
go out the
Make
next
some
game
shots.
and imagine that he's in the Thunderdome.
Bingo. I already told him
Start
that.
burying baskets just like he did what I witnessed.
I sent him a motivational text saying, hey, just fucking light it. Next shot's best shot, bud. Unconscious.
He does need to take more shots.
You tell him to stay away
Didn't
from
even take 10 left.
Joe Burrow's closet, or
That is fashion. The fashions, they do the fashion stuff. They know the fashions.
You're right.
That's something.
Joe Buse, they said Joe looks like somebody.
No, they said he hasn't.
Joe's
won.
Joe's moving to England, is he?
No.
Oh.
No, he's not.
Bingo.
That is not. There is people on the internet.
What's that about?
Bingo.
I don't know. Everybody, a lot of people move in England, I guess.
Yeah, things.
Ex talk show host.
Things don't go your way, just flee.
Okay.
Tell us, Chuck.
So,
Message is sent.
there is people that, since the internet started saying that, the record of the team that Joe Burrow's been on has not been that great.
Right.
With that being said, though, Joe Burrow is
Ain't his fault.
Slinging the rock.
Wear what you want to wear, Joe.
That's a guy to place a little wager on MVP. Because if they go on a run and they make the playoffs, if he's still first and everything,
His numbers are absurd.
he might sneak away.
he is having like a career year.
Yeah.
And their team just can't win.
So is Jamar Chase.
Yes.
No.
And he's still got 4 years on his contract. We found out. He's still got another year, and then he's got a franchise tag year.
Yeah.
And then he's got another franchise tag year. So that's never getting settled. That feels like that's going to be a dog chase tail situation whenever you talk about contracts. But it's like what Joe Burrow has been doing statistically through the air this year, special. Yeah, special. I think that's a good way to describe it. Special.
Because that defense, Jesse Minter, what he's doing with that defense, I mean, they only let up 13 points a game going into this one.
How's that guy go from college into the NFL and be able to do that? He was in the NFL earlier.
So he was in the NFL. That he comes from the Ravens system, and his dad was a longtime coach, so he's been around ball for a long time. So I think that system translated very well to the personnel that he had there, with the Chargers. But he's really good. He's really good.
Yeah, and like the guys they have, their defense hasn't been great though, to Minter's credit. And then like he comes in there and all those dudes are back playing unbelievable again.
All right, let's get to a break. On the other side, Kevin O'Connell will join us, the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings. Can't wait to catch up with John Boone.
Yes, me too.
When he came through the year, I was all bummed up.
I know.
We had I couldn't wait. We had Arthur, his older brother.
Dude, Artie. Oh, yeah. Love Artie. Saw Artie in the comments this weekend. We were posting about John. I love that family. They said something popped up. He'll be joining us. I got faith.
Is the curse back?
I know. We promoted it.
That's all I could think about.
As soon as I put the tweet up. As I was typing it up, I'm like, we've gotten triple stamped confirmation.
Yeah.
We should let people know that this person's going to be on the show.
For sure. Have to.
There's actually something happening at ESPN where, like, which is pretty cool. This is like a cool thing that's happening. Some people reach out and said, like, hey, if we would have known that you guys were doing the Juju commitment thing, we would have talked about that. And then I have to explain the whole situation about, like, how we
can't do it.
Sorry.
Hey, part of our show's thing is, like, 9 times out of 10, whenever we promote something, somebody's coming on, it's just like, we don't even really promote Aaron Rodgers Tuesday.
No.
Just, you know, that's it, like 5 years straight. Like, we're, we don't want to put it out and then it end up inevitably not happening, which has happened a lot for our show. Because our show is very much a, people getting booked at 11:25 a.m. before shows going on. Thank you to Mike Foss.
Yeah, also.
What a weapon.
What a weapon Mike Foss is. Just running the show. He sent a text. Can we stop with this? Or?
Come on.
Can we? Foss, good guy.
He's a good guy.
I can't wait to be in Columbus tomorrow, brother. Should be fun over there in your state.
Oh yeah, should be fun. People are pretty pumped, man. I'm sure Indiana people are already filing in. Should be good.
Uh-oh.
Don't let the
big weekend.
Hoosiers take over.
They might.
It's a done deal.
I think so too.
It's a close drive.
Because I respect the hell out of the Ohio State people, but the Ohio State people before their game, they have tailgate things that they do. Mm-hmm. You know, they have like their own plan. It's like the IU fans are traveling over. We can all just meet.
Just go to
at this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Age. Is everything
okay?
Ohio
State fans they'll be in their seats and ready to watch the squad.
Well, we'll go inside too, which is unbelievable to be on the field for that.
Actually, I saw a tweet that there's a little bit too much sitting down at the shoe.
Yeah, it has been a quiet barn this year.
Some Ohio State fans are pissed at other Ohio State fans for not staying in the whole game.
Wait, is that the video that I saw from the Ohio State team from their social media?
I don't know.
Saying, fans, we need you loud on Saturday. Mm-hmm. What's going on, AJ?
I didn't see that. Who put that out? I didn't see it.
It was like the team. It was like the 3 offensive linemen, I think. Then it was like a running back, and it was a wide receiver and everything.
It's a collaborative effort. Just letting the fans know, hey, you're part of this. You guys are part of this.
I agree. Yeah, I think it's good for the entire state to come together.
Have they had a game recently in that where they've needed them, the fans? Like a tight game?
Nebraska.
How long ago was that?
A couple weeks.
2, 3 weeks.
Is that the one that were throwing trash on the field?
That's the new trend.
You guys were throwing trash on the field over there?
If you want to call to be changed.
What did happen?
Thanks a lot, Texas.
You tell me. You were there probably.
I was not there in person.
Bobby Carpenter actually was in the front row. Throw! Throw!
You started.
He showed up to the game with a pallet of water bottles.
He grabbed trash, threw it up.
Now.
He's going in the trash cans.
Took out his sword. Fire!
I do love that the eyes of the entire college football world are on the Big Ten this weekend in Columbus, Ohio, on Indiana and Ohio State, but also precedent for the new college football playoff forever.
Yeah.
Is kind of on the eyes. Mm-hmm. And there's no better place to do it than in Columbus, Ohio, with the Ohio State Buckeyes. All right, be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Take 5.
5.
Well, nonetheless, as of February 1st, Pat McAfee is officially a contributor with WWE.
Hey!
Living his dream to be a part of WrestleMania.
I want to see Pat McAfee tonight.
I've been preparing for this my entire life.
McAfee wins! McAfee wins! Pat McAfee has done it again! It's time to toast the boys and toast the brand. McAfee's wanted to drink beer with Stone Cold forever. Stunner!
There was a point in my life, all I could think about doing was professional wrestling.
McAfee closing in on another WrestleMania victory.
First, we're going to have to get the okays, obviously. And we did from people high up. They were the only people that knew for a while. There was like 3 people that knew in the whole world that was going to potentially be a situation for a little bit. City of Stars, Boston Connors here. We will be there tonight. Nobody's supposed to know we're here. It's going to be tough. And if you're a man that's only known for wearing tank tops, you kind of got to cover it up. Mark here? No? I didn't see him. Hey, I'm Pat. Nice to meet you. He's hanging in the back.
1 second.
Here you go. My partner's on my face. I feel some shit. Who's on the game here?
Nobody. This is you until you go out.
Come on, dude. Let's go and take a look around. There's some bunk beds there. You know, there's a shitter and a shower here in the back. He sat in that bus 6, 7, 8 hours, 9, 10 hours. I'm coming down that thing. Holy fuck, what a view that's going to be. Hell yeah. Look at all those fucking people that are going to be there. Just waiting, you know, for an opportunity to potentially have a WrestleMania moment. It's ridiculous. This is awesome. WWE is just like the best at operating. They take care of the non-obvious. So we're very thankful to be here. And tonight should be fucking sick.
Hell yeah.
I think there's like 3 people that know I'm here.
Are we not supposed to come in here?
No, yeah.
All right.
4 now. Look at you.
Won't fucking say a word.
I'll see you at SoFi. You going to be in LA?
I don't know. George is, you know.
It's a loaded question.
George, we don't know. George, you don't know. Maybe.
What's up, Stud? Oh, nice.
As soon as I saw George showcase that tight end University tank top, I knew there was a chance old George about to do something special.
Are you kidding, boys? Welcome to WrestleMania!
You know, the night was getting late. We weren't sure. We didn't know if a moment was going to pop up where maybe my services could be utilized. I haven't been in a ring since SummerSlam. Okay, like not even in one. All I wanted was the Miz to have an opportunity to have a match, just a WrestleMania match.
Yeah, good guy. Stand there.
And then the Miz mentions, I sent out an open challenge, and we go,
oh my God.
There it is.
And I put out an open challenge, and no one responded. Why? Because I'm the Miz, and I'm awesome! Let's go!
Wait a minute! I feel McAfee's here!
I have walked out indoor stadium as a WWE superstar probably 1,000,000 times in my head.
WrestleMania was missing Pat McAfee in the Pat McAfee Show!
And I'm thankful to the WWE Universe that said hello whenever I came out on that massive fucking stage.
By the way, there's only 2 announcers undefeated in WrestleMania history, me and Pat. I can't believe McAfee's here!
Hello, beautiful people!
What's up, Snoop? What's up, Snoop?
You're a legend, dog. You're the best, dog. Hello, Miz. None of us saw this alleged open challenge that you said. But good news. This is my WrestleMania tank top. If you still would like a match, why don't you let me beat your ass right here, right now? You all want to see The Miz versus Pat McAfee right here, right now? I'm the host of WrestleMania, and I cannot make matches official. Miz, I do believe your tiny balls are showing. Tiny balls. Tiny balls. Baby meat as well. There's 80,497 people here. Somebody has to be able to make a match official somewhere.
I am the dog father and the host of WrestleMania, so I feel like I can make that match happen. Right now, we got a ref, we got you, Let's get cracking. I'm out. Let's go.
And McAfee, go right after Miz with the right hand, driving Miz back into the corner. Pat McAfee in action. This is a blatant sneak attack. He takes his duties as host of WrestleMania. Oh yes, Spinebuster! Derelict shows up. And Same thing in the Rumble. I didn't know this guy was showing up. Oh, what a kick by McAfee. Biz.
Hey, baby boss. Baby boss. How do you mean?
In a $7,000 tuxedo. Yeah, good. George Kittle and the San Francisco 49ers. I'm not sure how wise that was. McAfee's got the official distracted in the ring. Kittle just took out Miz. Kittle telling McAfee to go up top. McAfee heading up to the top rope. And taking out the Miz. Now we're talking. Miz may never win another match. McAfee closing in on another WrestleMania victory. The all-decade punter with a punt to end this thing. Here's your winner, Pat McAfee. A surprise here tonight at WrestleMania Goes Hollywood.
That match was awesome. I had so much fun there. That was a good time. The putt was fucking hilarious. You got a tiny bulge champ going. I had a feeling. You're sitting here all day. Oh, I wanted to text you earlier. I was told not to text you.
Well, of course. Nobody fucking texts
I was
you.
told not to text you.
dude.
You had a hell of a show.
I'm so thankful to the people at the WWE. It was a super cool night, super cool moment, and I'm very thankful for it all.
5:30 a.m. Sunday. This day started 6:30 a.m. Saturday. So much cool shit happened in between now and then. Joke of an existence. I'm very thankful for everything. Let's go take a nap.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers,
You pink.
Damn it!
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this NFL Week 12 kickoff Thursday, November 21st, 2024. Hour 3 of the program starts now. Football is awesome. That's AJ Hawk. The Talks the Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys AP Tone is here. A man who has 36 years of football coaching experience, 18 in college, 18 in the NFL, and a guy who needs to get off the schneid against the spread this evening for Pittsburgh Steelers, Cleveland Browns, Thursday Night Football, Week 12 kickoff game. Ladies and gentlemen, Chuck Pagone.
Yeah, Coach.
Good to see you, Coach. You're not the only coach on the show right now, I'll have you know. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is the man who leads the 8-2 Vikings, who have a big one against the Chicago Bears this weekend. I believe he just got off a Peloton. This man's in phenomenal shape. He's a former player, great jawline, super attractive, but also a massive football brain. Ladies and gentlemen, head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah, Coach.
What's up, man?
Hate to say it, man. Peloton is collecting some dust as over these last few days.
Oh no! What do we do? Do you do any working out throughout the season? It get difficult? Do you put on a bunch of weight? What is normally the MO for this time of year?
No, I try to get whatever I can, but no, it's you get into November, December. It just kind of feels like any and all time where I can be with my family. I'm going to be doing that. And then I'm with my family here in this beautiful building pretty much every other moment of my existence, which I absolutely love.
Well, that's head coach of a football team. There's only 32 of them. You happen to be a phenomenal one. Still up for AP's vote, AP Tone's vote for Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
Hey, just want to let you know that.
Go.
We have an AP vote in the building. He wears a cowboy hat every day. He is actually in control of one of the votes for the AP. You are on the watch list still. Just have you know that. And so all the time you're spending away from your family, well worth it. Yeah. Well worth it in AP Tone's eyes. And obviously a lot of coaches are having a great year. You guys are no exception. Let's chit-chat about it. We pulled some stats about your team. And obviously, it's very easy to talk about Justin Jefferson. I think I saw you give an answer about Justin Jefferson the other day about how if you were playing basketball, it was 5-on-5. Imagine if 3 of the people on the other team were just focusing on one of your players. That is kind of what's happening with Justin Jefferson. He still produces, and your offense is still able to do that. But there's a stat that we found that I think is really a glorious one. The Vikings ranked number 1 in the NFL with 16 interceptions in 21 takeaways on defense. First in allowing only 74.4 rushing yards per game, and have held opponents scoreless in 17 quarters this season, which is number 1 in the NFL. Can you tell me about why this year's Vikings team, with how this defense is doing, is poised for an actual run? They're doing historic stuff right now, Coach.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, just because Pat, it's one of those things where, we've probably not played a total complete game truly yet. You can make an argument the Houston game earlier in the year was close. But I would say our defense and forcing those turnovers, that doesn't count a ton of fourth down stops when teams are trying to drive the ball to, late in the game to recapture the lead against us. And our guys are just stepping up. It's an unbelievable collection of unique players, a great defensive coordinator in Brian Flores, and a great defensive staff. But it's awesome on a daily basis to just watch those guys work. And then on game day, between the veteran presence of a guy like Harrison Smith and new additions that we added to the defense this year, Grenard, Van Ginkel, Cashman, and then the 3 corners stepping up and really solidifying a position that we're in some turmoil at times with some things that have taken place here. Feel great about the defense, feel great about our ability to compete because of those guys, and we're gonna find a way to play our best football here down the stretch, which is something kind of 3 years into this job was a real goal of mine coming into this year, was to progressively build. Even when nobody thought we were going to be very good, I didn't really care. It was just about working and trying to get better, because my belief in this team has always been there.
Thanksgiving's next week, and everything you're saying kind of echoes the sentiment that Bill Belichick always said. It's the football after Thanksgiving where you got to be playing your best, have your best team, and matters the most. Sounds like you guys are trending in that direction. Let's talk about the offensive side now that obviously your big-ass brain is in charge of. J.J. McCarthy news happens before the season, so we're basically told, okay, Sam Darnold is going to be the starting quarterback for this Minnesota Vikings team. And I think J.J. got another surgery. Godspeed, brother. Godspeed in recovery for all that. That's no fun. Anytime they're going to cut you open, there's obviously things that can happen. Hopefully he comes back full go. Where do you stand with Sam Darnold right now? Just, I don't want to say personal relationship, but how do you think you and Sam Darnold have grown this year, and what have you seen out of Sam?
Yeah, I think Sam's done so many great things. Year 1 in the system, kind of taking him from where he was at in his career. This guy started a lot of games, and coming into this offense and really just having him focus on the day-to-day and the minute-to-minute. And Sam's really talented. He's, pushed the ball all over the field. We've been pretty darn explosive with him at the helm. Clearly there's been some times where we've had, maybe been too aggressive and had some decisions backfire from a standpoint of turnovers, but not without having some real moments of growth. And I thought he played one of his best games of the season against, a really good Tennessee defense last week. One of the best fronts in football. Those interior guys are no joke, good edge players. On the road, just kind of running the show, resolving conflict, taking plays when they were there, just spitting a bunch of completions out there to some pretty darn good players on the perimeter. And I think it was big-time growth for Sam, and now it's just about stacking it. He's had some real stretches of high-level football, and how consistent can I be coaching him is the most important thing, because I know I'm going to get the best out of Sam here down the stretch, and it's going to help our team.
Justin Jefferson, obviously phenomenal, but there's a tight end, too, that is obviously chatted about a lot. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Coach, you talk about, Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, and that wideout room is loaded, but you get T.J. Hawkinson back a few weeks ago. How big has that been for the offense with, him going down the middle a ton?
Yeah, I think, you saw it a little bit versus Jacksonville a couple weeks ago when, we're getting some pretty unique coverages where TJ's getting, drawing a lot of linebackers in coverage and, winning in the middle of the field. That middle of the field kind of inside-out passing game has always been a huge part of what we do, and it's grown bigger just as we've kind of experienced the inventory of coverages that Justin gets and Jordan gets So having TJ back's been huge. I do think Josh Oliver has had a phenomenal year, just from a standpoint of being a true blocking Y that impacts the pass game. There's just not a lot of guys like that walking the face of the earth, and he's been really good for us. But having TJ back, I think half of his targets have been kind of third down conversions or close to it since he's been back. It's a big part of our team, Pat, and it's a great question because if we can really find that balance between all of those guys and still run the football with Aaron Jones, who's been a huge impact for our team, I think we're going to have the kind of balance. Couple that with our defense playing well and doing some good things in the kicking game. I like where we're at.
Hey, on that note, shout out to the kicking game. Amen. But you just mentioned the running back there that you guys added in the offseason. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Coach, you guys are 8-0 when you're out rushing your opponents, and you're also, I think, plus 420 in rushing yards differential, which is 6th best in the NFL. As a Packers fan, obviously, I knew what Aaron Jones was going to be. I don't think anyone thought he was really going to fall off. But how important has he been to the offense to kind of unlock a new dimension? Because it seems like you guys are kind of leaps and bounds better in that department than you have been in years past.
Yeah, Aaron's made a huge impact. It's one thing. He gets credit for being so versatile, having an impact in the pass game, and we've thrown him a bunch of different kind of routes and concepts that not a lot of running backs are doing. And that's great, and that's huge, but Aaron Jones is a really, really good runner. And I think his vision, his toughness, he's not the biggest guy in the world, but his play style is off the charts. His vision, all the things that made him so hard to play against, playing for your Packers for so many years, having such an impact. It was why I was so excited to get him here. And then you actually get him in your building and you realize what an unbelievable human being and just how he's kind of taken what I think is a pretty darn good culture around here. Aaron Jones has made it better. He's made this building better. We're so fortunate to have him on our team, and he's had a huge impact, no doubt.
They say his vibes are immaculate.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah, has that remained? I know Green Bay's cold, but I ain't never been in a colder place than Minnesota. Ooh. We had our first snowfall here in Indianapolis this morning. We woke up, there's snow on the ground. How is it over there? I see you're in a puffer jacket in your office. Is it is it already? Are we already at that point in Minnesota?
We are at that point as we speak, about to head out to, practice to get ready to play outside in Chicago. I know they got some snow today. Don't know what Sunday is going to be like, but our boys will be ready to roll. Not something we're not used to around here, but I will say, very fortunate to have U.S. Bank Stadium about 10 miles away from where I sit right now. Very fortunate.
What year was that? Brett Favre was playing, I think, when they had to play outside at Gophers. I think we all remember, all of us. We were all in different parts of the country right there. We all responded. We're like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we remember that. I mean, it gets cold as shit in Minnesota. I wonder why. Why is it? Why is it so cold there versus other places? Like
Land of 10,000 lakes? I don't know.
So it's lake effect everywhere.
Yeah. Yep.
North as shit.
It is north as shit.
It's like Canada, basically.
There's a lot of north as shit places. It feels like Minnesota just really gets the cold. Anyways, beautiful town, though.
Beautiful.
The whole place is connected in tunnels because of it being cold as shit. You can walk. Not that we're talking like malls are in tunnels.
Okay.
Elevated.
Yeah.
The buzzword for me. Sue me.
Yeah, I get it. AJ has a question for you, KOC.
Coach, you mentioned you guys have not played a complete game yet, and obviously you guys are 8-2. So I guess, is that something you address with your team when you speak to them? Hey, we haven't put everything together yet, but ultimately that's a great thing if we still have 8 wins and we haven't even really figured out how to put it all together. Is it something that you think is trending in the right direction?
Yeah, it's exactly, very similar to my message this week, was really in a way where I think we've become a mature team because we figured out unique ways to win. We've had different sides of the ball, and our defense step up huge in games where we haven't put the ball in the end zone enough or have had more turnovers than we would like when we're moving the ball all day. There's been multiple times where the defense has had kind of a closer's mentality, which has been huge. But I think it's a challenge to the group, and understand that we all feel very fortunate to have the group we do. These guys love playing with one another and working like we're doing each and every week. But what does it really mean if we can't go out and put it all together consistently? Because down the stretch here, that's what you're going to need to do. There's a lot of really good teams in the NFC. We're going to have to play really good football down the stretch here to put a stamp on a year that we all should be proud of, but at the same time means absolutely nothing right now, in my opinion. And that's where I do think we got the right kind of guys. And I think our best ball is in front of us, as you kind of navigate November, December, which, I do believe has been in my mind probably from Coach Belichick, but also looking back on what we've been here over the first 2 years of my career here. It's something that I made a note of it coming into this year. It's been part of our process, and we've talked about it. But as I told the team, the time is now.
Your time is up. Our time is now.
Yeah.
Shout out John Cena.
Yep.
I didn't know you're quoting John Cena there too. I love that.
I was inspired by getting a chance to see that WrestleMania from you, man. That was unbelievable.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. I saw you were forced to watch that because we put you on the call and then we were running that video. So we apologize for that, but we did get to see your reaction during it. I lived the dumbest life of all time, brother. I mean, that is just a matter of fact. Very lucky to do a lot of the things that I've gotten to do, including play in the NFL, because I get a chance to listen to great leaders speak, and Chuck will have a question for you about that here in a matter of moments. But for me, I wonder for you, how long are you talking to the team? How often do you talk to the team? And like night before game, what is the speech? Is it a Gipper, or like what is your style when chatting with the team? Because obviously you've been in the audience for a lot of those.
Yeah, I think the night before the game is really important. If you've had any kind of consistency to your messaging all week, it's a great opportunity to put a stamp on it, put a bow on it, and make sure these guys wake up with total confidence and clarity to go play and be at their best. And I talk a lot about what it's going to take to win the game early in the week. Try to give them tangible, real things versus each opponent that I think is important. And then you got to have that post game. Real talk where, you highlight a lot of really good things, and there's been plenty of that for, an 8-2 football team. But at the same time, it's also important that you're honest and you're real and you're authentic every single day. I'm sure you talk to Justin or TJ or Harrison Smith, they'd probably say they've heard about enough of me, but that's the beauty of being the head coach, man. If I put team meeting on the board, they got to show up. Otherwise, there's going to be consequences, and they got to listen to me talk all day long. And until they tell me otherwise, that's what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, you got a full crowd anytime you speak, anytime you want.
Hell yeah.
Anytime you want, especially if you have a good culture. You got everybody showing up on time, hopefully, which has creeped into professional sports.
Yeah. Seriously.
Have you heard about this? There's like people that are late to team meetings and yeah, exactly. You have not heard.
Don't want to hear it.
Yeah, that's not a real thing, but that's happening in professional sports. Other places, obviously not in your culture. Let's talk about your culture. You think you're funny, KOC? You think you're some funny guy? I see what's happening over your shoulder up there. Look at that. Look at that. Yes, please put him. What's this, KOC? What's this here? Oh, that just so happens to be hanging over? That just so happens to be in the shot? What game was that, KOC?
That was one of the worst coaching halves I've ever been a part of in the first half. So what you don't see is on the back of that ball, it says the 33-0 first half score of that game. But the part you can't see, it does happen to be the greatest comeback in
Smart.
Yeah,
that was pretty great.
Yeah, and I like that you keep the side that's good for you,
Yep.
Because there's some people out there that would have the bad side out there.
Yep.
Ruined Jeff Saturday's career.
Yeah.
You did. You ended Coach Saturday's career.
Our
Hope you're happy.
sweet prince.
Hope you're happy, KOC.
And he's very excited that you did.
Now, speaking of coaching, a coaching change was made on the other side. Chuck has a question for you.
Yeah, Coach, the Bears have moved on from Shane Waldron a week ago, and Thomas Brown is now calling the offensive plays for them. It looked to me, at least from what I saw, like the run game was a little bit better. They were a little bit more efficient on offense. Quarterback looked to be playing in rhythm. How big a challenge is this to you and your team, and specifically Brian Flores and that defense, as far as, like, I don't know how much you can change at this point, with your play calls and your terminology and things like that, but what kind of challenges do you face?
Yeah, Coach, it's I saw the same thing you did. Just from a standpoint of there was a real mindset to get playmakers involved early with some, kind of ball out plays where, you can get DJ Moore multiple touches. You clearly got Swift in the run game going, which he's as talented of a back as I think we have in our league. He's a really good player, and they've got, Keenan Allen. They've got Rome on the outside, who clearly has a great rapport with Caleb as rookies that come in together. And then I just think Cole Kmet and working the inside of the field, they've got multiple weapons. And then a quarterback who, let's face it, studying that group last year, it was a great quarterback group. There's a reason why Caleb was the first pick in the draft, and everybody in this league is so excited about him because the talent, his ability to play on schedule, off schedule. I think he's seeing the field like all young quarterbacks do. They grow throughout the season and experience, different things than what they experience in college. I think he played really well last week, put them right in position to be a field goal away from beating a really good Green Bay Packers team. So I think Thomas Brown did a really good job, and it's going to be a challenge because I know Thomas well, coached with him in LA. He's built he's going to build it no matter how much time he has leading into this opportunity. He's going to build it with really good principles of offensive football, starting with the run game, making life easy on the quarterback when he can. And when those weighty downs come around, they've got skill players all over the map to, throw the football to and make it hard on you. So I know Flo and our defense are, really looking at this game as they do pretty much every week in this league, but they're looking at this as a major, major challenge to go on the road and defend a group like this.
And I assume Caleb Williams is viewing this as a major, major challenge of a B-Flow defense that is obviously humming. Can't wait to watch it. Who's your special teams coordinator? I should know. Who is it?
Matt Daniels.
Is he going to do the double push over the long snapper
you think about
to block field? It seems like that's available.
It works
against the Chicago Bears. What an ending! 2 weeks walk-off block kicks, Coach.
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, it just goes to show that when we as coaches stand up there and I know Coach Pagano can vouch for this. It's got to be 60 minutes and sometimes more. It takes everything you got, and if you never know when that one play is going to happen where you either don't have the play style or the technique fundamentals, and your opponent shows up and makes a play, it could change the whole day. It just so happened that was the last play of the game, and a huge play as we saw it in the NFC North. They're all going to be close. All the teams in our division are good, talented football teams, physical football teams. So it's going to take everything you got as an organization, especially when you're going on the road trying to get a win. So we know that. And we know what we're signing up for, and we got to go do it.
8-2, second in the NFC North.
Yeah.
8-2, obviously behind the Lions. Whenever you say the NFC North is good, and Coach, the play don't care
who makes it.
That's right. I've heard that from Chuck about 1,000 times. It's not every play is going to be the play that's going to bust it open, but the play that's going to matter, don't care who makes it. And
that's Franco Harris. All he said when he caught the immaculate reception was, "I was just hustling."
Right.
And I was at the right place at the right time because I was just hustling.
You think that ball touched the ground?
Yeah, he caught it. Definitely.
Definitely. I think
it doesn't touch the ground.
No, I think so too. I'm from Pittsburgh. I think he caught it. It's right there at the bottom of the airport, right next to George Washington. This guy founded a lot of questions.
What do you mean? Replay assist would say no.
Franco, though, right next to welcome to Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
We got the founder and the savior here. Okay, and that's how you kind of keep it rolling. Replay assist would have potentially said that thing skimmed the ground. But speaking of replay assist, 2024 is a wild time. We've been learning a lot, both through Dan Orlovsky's segments and also the evolution of what coaches have had. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Coach. Dan Orlovsky ran a little segment about, VR with quarterbacks and how they use it. Is that something you guys utilize? And how often are you guys going in there and kind of getting mental reps or actual reps with the VR headset?
Yeah, it's become a huge part of a lot of the younger quarterbacks kind of have come up with it through college. And the expectation is let's use all the resources we have. So we have a VR program, and then we also, Sam and the rest of the quarterbacks will wear GoPros at practice, recording, kind of their vision point, the audio, all those things. That then in a year like this, where you've got your first round pick quarterback, doing great, by the way, healthy, getting to a great spot. Okay. But he's got a lot of reps he can take behind the scenes. In a year where truly he's getting the chance to grow and really become a master of the system without having to be, tested each and every Sunday for 3.5 hours against, NFL defenses. He's getting that time via all those resources. I didn't get a chance to see that with Dan, but I'm sure it was awesome. And that's part of what you try to do is maximize the technology and the resources. We got great owners that provide us with the ability to have a lot of those things. So it really is a tool that I think can steal a lot of time on task for these quarterbacks to get ready to go.
Dan will appreciate the fact that you just assumed it was awesome because he was a part of that. A lot of people don't do that
at all.
So he will be very thankful. Didn't even crack. Love that. That's good friend Dan Orlovsky. KOC, good luck this weekend and the rest of the way. We thank you for taking time.
Yeah, you guys are the best. Thank you.
Hey, turkey ham?
Turkey.
Stuffing, mashed potatoes?
Both.
Okay.
Boom.
All right, that's a call.
Great answer.
Good call, Coach.
Apple pie, pumpkin pie.
Oh man, I'm gonna probably have some real things to answer for this, but neither for me.
Wow.
That's why he's got that.
Yeah, exactly.
Pecan?
Protein. He wants protein.
That WrestleMania performance, though, man, inspired me. I'm jumping on this bike behind me right after I get off.
You're the man. You saw some fat on me there. That came together very last minute. You're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah, coach.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah.
Foreign player.
Yeah.
Tannenbaum said, sit down. Before you do, you're cut.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just never really got to where we thought you'd get.
Okay, and that's on us more so than you.
Yeah, it's not your fault. Stink.
He's literally sit down. You're cut. Okay, and you stink. And okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
okay.
Better yet, why don't you stand up and get the fuck out of here?
Tannenbaum was wrong.
We don't know. He might have been very right.
No, he's definitely wrong.
Oh, Kevin O'Connell, I heard he can spin it.
Yeah.
He said more athletic than he give him credit for, too. A lot of people said, right? D-Butch.
Yeah.
D-Butch teammates with him up there.
Drafted to New England. I think they're the same draft class.
Yeah, D-Butch, he can spin. I think he can move, too, a little bit.
Athlete.
He's got that jawline, though, on him, doesn't he?
Yeah, unbelievable.
He's got that jawline.
He ran at San Diego State. Where the hell he went? I think San Diego State.
Speaking of running, we've been running this segment every single week, and it's become one of my favorite things. To not only find the clips, but for people to send in when they happen during college football games. AJ, I know you're not very active on X or on your phone because you got 100 kids and you got a lot of things going on, but these college football games have become infinitely more exciting because I'll open it, I'll see somebody with a hashtag Ram truck, and then I will search for that on X and I will find somebody getting obliterated. Now, people still don't understand completely that it has to be a legal play.
That's right.
Okay, it has to be a legal play. There cannot be a flag on the play. We do not want to promote illegal hits and cheap shots and things like that. Within the rules of the game, can you still smack somebody? If you can, we like to call that a hashtag Ram truck. Okay, the way this segment goes is there are 3 contenders each week of a hashtag Ram truck play that will take on our reigning, defending, undisputed Ram truck champion from the week before. The only champion this segment has ever known is the Mount Union Mount Boom. That play will be a part of this week's 4 contenders for the hashtag Ram Truck Challenge. After we show these 4, we will put them up on X. There will then be a poll immediately underneath. It will be you who will decide which play will win the Ram Truck play of this particular week. He who has the title at the end of the season will win a brand new 2,500 heavy duty Rebel Ram that's been sitting outside of Thunderdome for the last couple months, and I'll tell you what, it got a little snowfall on it today.
It's so nice.
That is a truck you want.
Yeah.
With a little snow on it. Look mean, look clean, look durable, look physical, look tough. Just like these 4 entries into the hashtag Ram Truck Challenge. Let's get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, the first play from UAB. This is Jonathan Allen. More like Ramathan Allen! Absolute D-cleaner. Whenever you talk about, utilizing brute force to stop somebody's momentum from going forward and taking them directly, boom!
Oh, man.
Boom! Perfect form. Perfect form.
Yeah.
Got the head out of the way, shoulder, you're running full speed, huh? 0 miles an hour. Boom. Negative speed mile an hour. You are going backwards quickly. That is a hashtag Ram Truck. Let's go to the second one. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the second week in a row that a punter has been put into the hashtag Ram Truck Challenge for the biggest hit of the week in college ball. A little bit of a low punt, but the players can make play. Let me throw my body. There is a flag on the play, but not on the punter who gets up and flex on him. This is Ryan Eckley. Boom! Boom! I mean, that's awesome.
Unreal.
That is what punters do. Okay, this is 2 weeks in a row now. Punters have been on the Ram truck segment, and that is my exact tackling technique. If you watch some of my film, it was I'm trying to get shoulder and I'm trying to go full body out there. Because if you're able to run through me, now I was a little heavier than Eckley. I'm about 230, 240, right now 255. So if you were able to run through my full body, because I didn't want to have to do the whole power game because these people are all more powerful than me, good on you. And there was a guy from Kansas City that did just that. It was freezing cold. I left the ground. I thought I had him. And I felt a tingle from my head to my asshole, right down my spine. And I was sent into a blender, and he continued to run. So I appreciate what Eckley did, and those two are up for a brand new 2500 heavy-duty Rebel Ram. Look at the snow sitting on top of that Rebel Ram.
Wow.
Look at the majesticness of that Rebel Ram. That could be one of these 4 dudes at the end of the hashtag Ram Truck season. Let's go to the third finalist on this particular week. This one's from San Jose State. More like Ram Jose State. That's Floyd Chalk the fourth. There had been 3 before, but never one that did that. San Jose State's all over the news.
Yeah.
All over the news.
Yeah, everywhere.
Hopefully changing the future for the much better for all of sport. But the Ram Jose State run over is one of the first running back entries in here. And I will have you know that was a Chuck Pagano entry.
Oh, Chuck. Okay.
Chuck Pagano actually recorded his TV at his house and texted it to me and said, this is my Ram truck. And I even gave play-by-play on that whole thing. You don't often see a running back be able to do that to somebody. That was out of a movie.
That kept going.
Boom. That was out of a movie right there. Now, some people say he lowered his helmet, did the whole thing. There's no flag.
No flag.
There's no flag, so it's not. And the reigning champion, obviously, is Weston Arthur out of Mount Union. The helmet gone.
Man.
Pitch over. Weston Arthur, Mount Boo, has been our reigning champ. Will any of the other 3 take the crown from Mount Boom? You will be the judge of that. You will have to go onto X, find that particular post, and then underneath there will be a poll. You vote on which one you think should win the hashtag Ram Trucked Play of the Week, and the winner at the end of the season will win a Rebel Ram 2500 heavy duty.
4-wheel drive for that snow.
Yeah, 4-wheel drive, high and low.
Yep.
Okay.
That's right.
Clean.
Depending upon what you want to get through. And then if you want to go to a parking lot and just do some
donuts
and fishtailing, that thing's got 2-wheel drive. Obviously, you can just put them in the back there,
right.
and you can just go ahead and spin that thing if you want to. Now, I'm not saying you should. Okay, you should not be reckless with this entire thing. No. But you certainly could.
Without a doubt.
You certainly could with the power that this thing has. And whenever you hit the gas pedal, all you hear is
Good look at Chuck.
Ram Jose State. Ram Punt. Ramathan Allen in Mount Boom. Can one see who it is?
I audibly gasped when I watched the UAB one.
Yeah.
The first time I saw it.
That might be. Weston Arthur and the Mount Boom have had quite a reign on this entire thing.
Like an 11 seed.
Has it been close? Has anybody?
The Mount Union people have been showing up. I think it's been within like 10 to 15.
Cincy punter
It was
last week had a
10%.
Yeah,
nice
10%. 10%. But I think that UAB, Ramathan Allen, I mean, that one has
It's a great form tackle.
Don't sleep on Ram Jose State.
This is teach tape on how to tackle.
I'm good. I'm great.
House
Look
call,
at
house
the
call.
spin zone. The guy just runs right by him, too. His lead blocker just runs right by him. Go back to that from the side angle there. The guy who's his lead blocker runs right by this guy. He knows, hey, I don't want any.
Yeah, I don't want any.
Ramathan Allen, no way. Hits the spin zone. He got to look at the big guy. I'm not bucking that guy. Boom!
Oh, no.
There must have been something in his eyes. I'm going to miss that guy. That's somebody else's block. That's not mine.
Long snapper's about to get him.
Might not like the punt returner.
Oh, my God. And he's locked up to arms.
Yeah.
Captured.
Yeah.
Boom. Back bump. It's over.
There was a lot of Eckley submissions, too. I believe he's very popular at Michigan State because they punted a lot last year, and he was made the first-team freshman All-American team last year. So they're a big fan of him up there.
Okay, I like that. Maybe, hey, I'll tell you what. Up there in Michigan, that Rebel Ram 25.
Man. Do well.
Can you imagine that carrot top driving around in that thing?
Oh, my God. What a time.
So sweet.
What a time.
The comedian?
Yeah.
Oh, didn't
All
you
those
see
tricks
his
in the
hair?
back?
Didn't you see a photo of him? Good looking.
I only know one carrot top. There's only one carrot top in this world, brother.
Yeah, he's jacked.
Oh, okay.
See him?
Yeah, he's got red hair.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
It's
we
called
get it.
ginger.
We get it. Wow. Jeez Louise. The Italian can't take the Scottish or the Irish side. They can't
Respect that.
I love them all.
Yeah, of course.
Even the terrorists?
Northern Italy.
No,
What are you talking about?
Yeah, what is this?
What's wrong with you?
What is your problem?
He said it. Jesus.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, congrats to the finalists there for the Ram Truck Award. Can Mount Boom continue to reign supreme? We shall see. That Ramthan Allen.
That's a big hit.
That one came through. I didn't see that one on the Twitter. There was another one from that game.
Yes, the Memphis running back.
I think, there was another one. There was two in that game. Oregon, Uyunglele, I believe.
Yeah. Young Concrete, I believe, his Twitter handle and nickname.
He had a close to finalist hit, but it was from Oregon standards. And Oregon's been on the Ram Truck segment a lot.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, it was certainly a big time shot, but it wasn't up to Oregon standards there. That Ramthan Allen one, when it got texted to me and I looked at it, I was like, holy shit. That might be the most amount of force you're allowed to have in common football right now.
Yeah, probably right.
Because no bracing either.
At all.
Well, how often does a D tackle, because he was part of the PP wall, do they get to go and just square up a wide receiver?
Yeah, and catch him square, completely clean. And it's like the perfect form tackle. Mount Boom might have it. I mean, it might be in it but it was a hell of a reign if it is the end of Mount Boom.
Oh, yeah.
Weston Arch. This, we're not saying we don't. We would love for it to go to Mount Union.
Oh, yeah.
We think that's kind of what the Ram Truck thing is all about. But the reality is, Ramthan Allen here, that's exactly what we thought whenever we thought of the Ram Truck segment.
The wall.
That is pretty much it. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Okay? It is time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait.
There's been a man on a schneid
Mm-hmm.
for a little bit of time. But it's tonight he turns the tide.
Yeah.
Now, no one.
And we mean no one.
Out Pizza's the Hut.
Never.
But what has this man who's been incredibly butt at picking picks is going to do now? Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Coach Chuck Pagano to get off the schneid and pick against the spread for this Thursday night football game. Chuck, what are some things we need to be looking at, and what is your pick, pal?
Let's look at the tail of the tape first. We've got some plays.
Yes, we do.
We can look at the tail of the tape, and you can see against the spread, pick comes in 8-2. Cleveland's 3-7. Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
God, I apologize.
So I think what happened here,
That's a
Chuck.
fine next time. You can find me next time.
No. So
Pittsburgh.
Chuck, I think what happens is everybody on earth does that.
Everybody.
But then people from Pittsburgh are like, you're doing it wrong. That pick
And we got too many ends. I mean, there's too many ends.
Yeah, we won't have it.
Disrespectful. Oh, yeah.
Connor's from Boston, Massachusetts.
Well, him and Sacco.
Yeah, exactly. He grew up with that.
Amen.
Sacco.
Boom. Good callback, brother.
That's good.
I got my
looked him up.
family
They
looking
call
for
him Sacco
photos
the
right
Wacko.
now.
Hey, we need
Sacco
him.
the
Yeah, we're
Wacko.
getting them.
We need him.
Medford.
But yes,
Great
Pittsburgh
family.
traveling to Cleveland.
So points per game, 23.3, 16.2. Not very many points scored over there in Cleveland per game. Points allowed. Pittsburgh's defense is outstanding. You could see that. Turnover margin, we talked about that already. Pittsburgh.
You couldn't even, your body couldn't even do it.
is plus 11.
You got it, Chuck. You got it.
Stupid Raven blooded you.
Total offense, you can see the numbers. Total defense, rush. Why is rush offense up there and rush defense?
Weather.
Bad weather game, that's going to come into play, right? And you can see where rush offense, Pittsburgh, 8th ranked and 29th for Cleveland, 88 yards a game. Not very good. There's only three.
Second most, okay.
In the league.
Okay.
And they got two good backs. They got Chubb and they got Ford.
Sure.
And they've got a third-string left tackle starting tonight.
Who?
He's not a third. He's former number one overall pick.
Cleveland?
Yeah. What's that cat's name that's going to start
DeJuan Jones?
today?
Or no, DeJuan Jones is out.
No, Fetty. So Wills was starting.
What Pat?
Wills was starting. Wills got benched.
I have no idea what the last name. I'm not doing it.
Okay.
Do you want to do it?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the clip where one of the Cleveland people said, he's not in great shape.
No, I didn't even know that. Jeez, this guy wants to take a shot.
It's funny.
Dewan,
No. Yeah,
windmill
Dewan.
dunked on him.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So Dewan went in. He went out. Wills
watch out.
lost his job to Jones.
Can't wait to see
Lost
this
his job to Jones.
Okay.
But he's got a knee. Some people are saying it might be the T.J. Watt flu.
Oh.
So Jermaine Fetty's gonna start at left tackle. So
Good luck to Fetty.
We'll see how that goes.
Get him, Fetty.
He's a former number one. He's got 9 years in the league. I mean, he's a vet. He knows how to play football. So we'll see.
Yeah, you don't just fall to 9 years in the
And then rush defense, 90 yards a game given up by Pittsburgh, fourth best in the league, and 131 a game against. Now, Schwartzy does a great job with this defense. They've been asked to do a lot because of the offense this year. So those are the numbers. You can see the quarterback comparison. Obviously, one's won a Super Bowl. And Jameis, I mean, he threw for a bunch of yards last week.
You did?
Bunch of
That pass defense for New Orleans is 29th ranked pass defense.
Yeah.
Keep in mind. And then he threw for some yards against Baltimore, which is the 32nd pass defense.
I think I know which way you're going here. Doesn't it sound like a picture starting to get painted?
Yeah,
But you got to keep in mind this record, this Pittsburgh record, Thursday night, all I saw was 0 for. Like, can't win. So let's look at some of the players that are going to play key roles in whether this team, pulls off a major upset in Cleveland or Pittsburgh wins this game, which everybody thinks they're going to. So they got Najee and they got Jalen Warren, two great backs. Najee can take it the distance. He's one of those guys, like, you just keep giving him the ball, and eventually he's going to bounce off some dudes, stiff arm a dude, bounce to the outside, take it the distance.
Gee.
Okay, Najee.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I like that out of Najee.
So they got firepower. They got firepower. This was a great throw and a great catch. This is George Pickens. He's ever since Russell's been inserted as QB1, they found a connection, and nobody throws a better moon ball.
Nasty.
Jeez.
Dropped it in the bucket. That was a great body control,
third in the league.
athleticism, adjust there. So George is obviously going to play a key role. I think because you got to run the ball. What did New Orleans have success against this defense last week doing?
QB run.
This is the signal for it. What does that mean?
Screen.
If I do, thank you. So if I do this, alert, the draw, and that screen.
Okay.
They got screened the shit out of them, right?
They're running Cena?
What the frick?
You can't see me.
So screens are going to play, and this little cat can run. He's a great screen back.
He is.
He can run the ball, but he's great on screens. A tight end screen. Muth, they got Muth. We don't have a highlight of Muth. We know Muth is going to be big in the middle of the field. I think we got a shot of another wideout coming up. So Warren's going to be big in this one. You good?
You good?
I don't think we have another wide receiver.
You good?
Who's good?
What happened?
We don't have another wide receiver. We got another quarterback, though, for sure.
Okay, so the X factor.
Yes.
Stop. Hold the press. X factor.
Tonight.
If they're going to say this team struggles in what part of the field, Pittsburgh, what is their struggles?
Red zone.
Red
Red
zone.
zone. Six field goals last week, right? So why not insert this cat? This is week 3 against the Chargers, right? They inserted him late in the game against the Ravens, right? And he got a first down late or came up,
he
slid,
slid.
but whatever.
Yeah,
so
slid
let's keep an eye out. I think Justin Fields' anytime touchdown would be a good.
Wow.
I think they get in the red area,
Sneaky
and
devil.
I think they put this guy in,
Especially with Taysom Hill last
and they
week, right?
run. No, absolutely.
Steelers fans
And you
have
do
been
a quarterback
clamoring for
design run. You know, the AR sweeps, the 2 touchdowns that Anthony Richardson scored last week in a big win over the Jets. I mean, he's perfect for that. Here's an RPO. He pulls it and scores. So X factor. They're going to use him in certain situational stuff, and it'd be great. That's that's great football, and you got to plan for it. You got to take time out of your practice time to get ready for that. And I'm sure Coach Schwartzy and the Cleveland defense has done that.
I'm sure. Yeah. Hey, Justin Fields touchdown. What are the odds on that?
I'm assuming that's got to be at least plus 550.
I was just looking on a book and I couldn't even find it. So
Really? That's a big.
Boy,
hey, that might count as
good
two.
for people are asleep.
That might count as two, brother. If you get that one right, I mean that might, especially if it's plus 500 plus. I mean
it definitely is.
What's Fryermuth? Because he's definitely getting in.
Muth is plus 460.
Plus 460 is Muth. Justin Fields got to be what? I mean, it's not on any site.
It's not on here right now. No,
I don't got it either.
What?
Well, you know why?
They're trying to.
You know
they're
how
trying
many
to screw
snaps?
us.
You know how snaps he's played since they've inserted Ross at QB1?
2.
Was it 2? I thought it was 1. So
No, the slide, and then he was in on the Naj first down run.
Wow. Coach Pagano says tonight's the night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not anywhere.
He was really good when he played in the red zone at scoring touchdowns. Steelers fans have been clamoring for this to happen.
Chuck, I'll tell you, if this happens, you should feel very good about yourself.
Yeah.
You should feel very good. Now, if it doesn't, people are going to say,
they're going to kill you.
Look at this guy.
Yes.
He thinks he's invented
well,
the
if
game.
you could find it and you get plus 650 or plus
it's hard.
750,
It's probably thousand. If it's not
throw
on
a
it,
couple, throw a couple bucks on it.
Yeah, that's all. Why not?
The longest one you could find that's listed is plus 2,200.
So he would have to be more than that, you would
You would
assume.
think. I don't know. I don't know why he's not on there.
It should. Yeah, it should be somewhere between like 1,000 and 2,000, but I can't find it.
There's books actually replying online saying they're not offering it.
What do you mean replying?
Which books? Like actual books? Or
Bet365 has replied to somebody and said they're not offering it.
What's
Well, I'll tell you what.
What's
I'm going to give.
We're not doing it.
We tell everybody. All right, I'm going to take everybody's action on it. Oh,
We're not betting against you. We're not betting
Not
against
enough barbecue sauce in the world,
We're
Chuck.
not betting against you. All right, let's go to the defensive side for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, my Lord.
This guy's all.
Let's have a plan for number 90.
Not that
I don't know. Yeah, let's have a plan. You don't leave these guys on an island. You got to put a tight end over there. You better have a back over there. Highsmith's out tonight. Both teams are relatively really healthy. Highsmith's out for the Steelers, and then the tackle Jones and Wills for Cleveland. So they're all pretty healthy. But you better have a plan for this dude. We know that he's the first guy they put up in the team meeting.
He's won 2 games already, right? Just himself.
Yeah.
He's just sick.
Yeah.
Well, that one was Dan Jones's fault, though, right? They did have a plan, and then he decided not to slide the protection over.
He's actually playing. Yeah, I remember because he was supposed to send somebody in motion. He knows that. He feels fucking terrible.
He's crying right
Hayward.
He's playing safety right now in the practice.
Queen, Minka Fitzpatrick. I would think that Joey Porter Jr. would probably follow Judy around. Judy had a big game. We're going to see a play. Here's Herbig coming off the back end. Forcing a fumble.
Gotcha.
That's on a guy that doesn't fumble, right?
This is what AQ said is the difference about this Steelers defense.
This guy's found the fountain of youth, right?
Him and Keanu.
Hayward, two sacks in this game.
Beast.
What is that, AJ? That's unbelievable.
That long arm. Look at that power with that left arm, that long arm. That's how you do it, man.
That's what Nick Saban said he was going to do to me.
Yeah, you did have that in your chest, didn't he? Yep.
Cam did do that.
You got the Cam Hayward long arm.
Yeah, I just want to let you from Cam Hayward.
From Cam Hayward,
He
yeah.
almost put me into a brick wall. I was like, all right, we're just keep content, bro.
We're hanging out.
We're doing this for a video. Yeah, okay, just want you to feel the force a little bit. And I certainly did. Yeah, Saban kind of long armed me there. I was thinking of the Deion Dawkins.
Yeah.
Oh,
Could you imagine?
him falling
face first.
Him on his nose. Oh, no.
Face first.
Break him in nose. Yeah. Double
Talk to
snatch.
AQ saw the clip on there or whatever. And he was like, actually not bad pass set, because he judges my pass. I've been doing public pass sets because of AQ Shipley for maybe the last 13 years. Can't do it as much now because obviously anytime I'm out and about, it's a little bit of a scene, which is a good thing, which is a cool thing. I'm never going to bitch about, but it was nice whenever people didn't know who I was in some places. And I would just walk up in public while they're walking down the street and just pass set like 7-8 times, just like right next to him, like never got it, and just leave. It was always when AQ was around, and then I would ask him to judge it. And I told him, I was like, I immediately thought of Deion Dawkins as soon as he did that, just doing the
Head on
David
knees.
gets up. He's got a bloody nose going back.
Well,
that was literally right here. Like as soon as he did it, it was like, whoa.
Probably would have
This is the
respected
chop down. This is the
Got me.
chop down right
Do
here.
it,
This is the
Pat.
chop down right
Don't
here.
do it.
have you told him this?
I love Coach Saban, man. Who, Deion Dawkins?
No, you told Coach Saban you thought.
No, I was going to save it for tomorrow. Be like, hey, you don't even know. I've been watching actual film on this move.
You're lucky.
We're trying to save it in the NFL right now because they're calling it. Coach Saban is the fucking man.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot stress that enough. for like his stature of who he is. Now, obviously, everywhere he goes, it's just like, holy shit. Everybody just holy shits. But he's just a football guy. Like, you know, he's a football guy, humble dude. And how much he has invested into doing game day is, hey, you're the man. You are the man, coach. Which is why you didn't feel it.
Almost got you. Yeah.
He'd have had a counter. He'd have countered you.
Oh,
man.
my God. Yeah, as soon as I do that, what if he does? Punches me. Punches me.
You guys getting a quick, like, 10-second real fight. And they're like, oh, okay, here we go.
All right, clean it up. Take it off. Okay, special teams now. Let's talk a little bit about that. Danny Smith up for assistant coach of the year right now for the Steelers.
Yeah, so the heart and soul of this Pittsburgh team has been the defense and the special teams. Block kicks. Here's Austin on a punt return for a tutty. Great discipline, save it block, not hitting in the back.
Roughing the kicker.
There was one of those. I think they picked it up.
They didn't call that, huh?
I saw the flag. Didn't they pick it up?
No, that was
he went down for
illegal
sure.
formation or something on them.
Okay.
Oh, he got blocked.
Of course it was.
He did.
Yeah.
Of course it was. Says Chuck.
So special teams will play a huge
watch
factor
this.
tonight
Let's
as
see.
well. So
There's 2 refs right there.
pick it up. Replay assist.
His land leg.
When they showed, that was it. Because when they showed the other angle, he barely grazed him. But Pat pointed out you got to give him a spot to land.
Yeah, that's like a part of the rule is you got to give him at least a place to come back down to earth. You know?
This was in Pittsburgh, right?
I thought this was football.
It was in Pittsburgh. Yeah, of course it was. There's don't you even think about
Play
it.
right again.
Touchdown. Don't you even. Are you kidding me? You want to get out of here?
All right, let's go to Cleveland, shall we?
Come on. Let's look at the Brownies.
They got a weapon.
Judy.
Allegedly, he was going to the Jets, right?
Yeah. For Alan Lazard.
But they said.
And a second.
But who nixed it?
Ambassador Johnson. This guy's got he's in it.
He's got his hands in everything.
Jared,
if you're going to leave, how are you going to, like, if you're planning on going, like,
I don't think
you got to.
I don't think it's run very well.
No.
I don't think so.
To be fair, Alan Lazard's been like one of their few bright spots.
Yeah, exactly. So then him trying to...
They kind of went down the shitter when Lazard got placed on the IR.
Lazard was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Always has been. Always has.
That touchdown against the Niners week 1 on the offsides.
Thought we had it for
You see the one he had on these dudes last week?
Oh, I see this one here from Jared.
Am I thinking right?
It's a great throw.
Look at this. Big game for Judy. They're going to need him to come up big.
Weather, the way it is, though, you just assume.
Yeah, you can throw him a screen, too. He's quick as a cat.
And when he gets the ball.
So run after catch.
What a ball.
Jameis threw for 400 yards.
395.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to another offensive weapon.
Elijah Moore.
Another Jet.
Another Jet.
Jameis Winston extended to play with his legs.
They're blaming Joe D for this. Joe D drafted some good people up there. He's on the street, right? Would he let him go? He drafted. This guy's doing well here.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that.
Why to get rid of him?
I was with Joe D in Baltimore. Do you know that?
No.
He comes from that tree with Ozzie and them.
You like Joe D?
Unbelievable. Dude.
Well, Joe D's got me
smart,
cooked pretty good.
Great football. He's a football guy.
I said I went to bat for Joe D pretty good.
You would love Joe D.
Well, I think Joe D knows that I went to bat for him pretty good. You know, and then I also threw another GM who happens to be
pretty good.
Very good. Gutekunst under the bus in the same sentence, you know, and here we are just a couple years later, and boy, that got thrown in my face. You talk to Joe D, let him know, hey, it was an honor.
Yeah, went to battle with
It was an honor to go. It was an honor to go through that. And I think what we're all learning about the Jets, from those of us that didn't grow up caring about any New York teams, or New York sports radio, or New York anything.
Sure.
Which there are those people that exist. I know there's some people that don't know that. This Jets team is fucked.
Yeah, they're just gonna suck forever.
Well, unless they put in the JJ rule.
True.
Oh, yeah.
If you lose 15 years straight, no playoff wins, you got to sell the team.
You're out.
That is not a bad rule.
I was kind of down with it.
Me too. I think, you know who wouldn't be, though? It'd be a problem because they're the ones that would have to vote it in.
All
31. Yeah. So let me get this straight. I might vote myself out of this cash cow just because it's fun? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
That's going to be a no from me. Good luck getting 24 votes in this entire thing.
You know, it's stupid, and it's set up so that teams that struggle, you pick first. You got the easiest schedules.
Sure.
You're supposed to, like, eventually come around.
Trying. The league is trying to make you better. But you just can't do it. What was it, 21 years we saw? Was that the Raiders when we pulled that out? Dolphins, 21.
Until last
24.
year,
24.
the Lions were over 30 years.
Holy
and the difference was when Sheila Ford Hamp took over, and then all this happened.
Yeah, the Bengals, Browns, and Lions were up there for a long, long time, and they got off the schneid. So now it's Dolphins.
Dude,
definition of purgatory.
I love that rule. Here it is, 23 years Dolphins, Raiders 21 years, Commanders 18. But they got new ownership.
Yeah. And they made it to the playoffs not too long ago. They got beat by the Bucks, and damn near beat them the year the Bucks went to the Super Bowl.
Chicago Bears,
that's a
13
win.
years.
That's not just making it, right?
Yeah,
That's a
win.
That's a win.
Yeah, that's a win. Yeah.
Which is what I think what JJ was saying. And I think he said 20 years as opposed to 15 years. I dropped that thing down to 15. Like, if we're going to do it, let's actually do it. But that'll never get passed.
No.
Ever. So it's all just...
That's fun, though.
Fairy tale end is fun.
How about the kids of owners?
Better keep an eye in
Just getting
Njoku.
NFL teams? That's good for them.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
85 for the Browns can play.
What's that, brother?
He's an alien, Njoku.
He tends to play well against Steelers.
Yes, he does. He's kind of been their kryptonite.
Yes.
He's another one, like, if you can't find Fields,
Tug.
Anytime Tutty, let's go ahead and lay a little bit on Njoku.
Okay, so that's 3 touchdowns.
How many guys are scoring tonight, Charles?
Fryermuth,
Everybody.
Fields, and Joku.
No,
Sounds like you like
42,
the over.
yeah.
Sounds like you like the over. 36.5 is the...
I like the under.
Okay.
17-14?
Now, if you parlay
17-10? You can get a touchdown and a field goal by
I like that you're predicting every human that's going to score. There's no other...
He's just scratching.
This guy's getting one winner today. We know that.
Scratching.
No,
He's going to clip it. Just like I said. Yeah, you're right. I think you see it in the field.
Yeah.
I think you watch more film this week because of the schneid that you're on. I think he's saying this is all so obvious to me.
With the gambling algorithm, if you were to parlay 3 guys to score with the under, it would be fucking massive.
Let's go, Chuck.
Let's go.
We can't get the fields, but you would say
do it,
Fryermuth and Njoku, though, and under?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's 2 touchdowns and an under. That's still...
I like that.
I think the odds would still be pretty good on that particular...
That is plus
Watch that shit
11,000.
happen.
What is it?
Plus 11,000. 100
Take-
to win 11,000 for Njoku, Fryermuth, and under.
Yeah, who couldn't use that this time of the year?
Well, yeah, that's sports
Get
gambling.
yourself a couple turkeys.
Okay, now there's a guy that's going to be stopping touchdowns from happening. Myles Garrett. This guy is phenomenal.
He's like TJ on the other side, right? You better have a plan. These guys tried to get 2 on him, and it doesn't matter.
Thursday night in Cleveland.
I was going to say.
Let's hope he keeps his helmet on.
I think it might happen.
Yeah, I think he went after Mason. He went after
Oh, yeah.
Mason with that baby.
I guess because we brought it up too, there's a chance we never get him on the show again, I guess.
He
Oh,
came
yeah,
on
because
them.
it was any of our decision to fucking bonk Mason Rudolph on the head with the helmet. He should do it again tonight. Do it to Russ.
Don't do it to
Russ, could you
Russ,
imagine
dude.
Russell's helmet getting ripped off?
You're
He's
not
got the
getting
eye
that
black on?
thing off Russ's head.
How about him scurrying to run away?
That would have. That'd
Can
be
you
like
see him?
there'd be like an angels in the outfield situation. Come down and stop that helmet from hitting Russ in the head.
God himself might come down.
Tim Tebow dropped
angels,
into
angels in the outfield. Huh?
Yeah, it's got me. I've never seen a person dressed like a bigger asshole than Connor yesterday. Did you see what he was wearing?
No, what happened?
Oh my God!
Was he wearing an angels in the outfield?
He had a softball shirt on. He had a softball shirt on for a team that he played for. What was the name of the team?
We're the Virgins.
Nice.
The Virgins in the outfield. Here, I'm going to send this photo over.
So we made our jerseys look like the Angels in the outfield, and that just says Virgins on it.
I respect that.
They're making fun of us, calling us virgins. So we said, okay, fine, we will be the Virgins.
Yeah, we are.
Virgins.
So what? Zito, I just sent it to you if you want to get this up there because it should be talked about. Just everything from... I'm looking at this photo. Look at this guy. Everything. Socks don't match. Nope. Shorts, asinine. Shirt says Virgins. And then just look.
How about some calf raises?
I'm trying.
He's sort of saying, hey, the Virgins in the outfield fell victim to a wagon yesterday.
I mean, absolutely. But the Virgins in the outfield are also champions. So.
Oh, in softball?
Yeah.
Are those boxer shorts or normal shorts?
Those are bird dogs I've had for so long that they just lost all color.
Those used to have red stripes.
They used to be red, yeah.
They're a little high.
Now they're just kind of tan.
Well, you got to show off those quads, especially whenever you're doing a Stairmaster. And I'll tell you what, your distraction ability dressed like that was high.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Foxy locked in, baby. Foxy.
Yeah. We had a good week. We really did.
Me and Foxy have got back to form, AJ. We've gotten back to form.
Really?
Yeah, and
You're
I'm going
back.
to be honest. There was some internal questioning going on for me if we were ever going to get back to form.
Sure.
And
Just keep shooting. Always keep shooting.
Well, I was, and it wasn't going in. That was the
Are you guys getting? Are you guys getting a decent amount of points off of tips?
Yes.
That's actually where I think we win.
Yes, AJ.
Yeah, because I mean, if you can find it and you're willing to hustle, you can get some points.
Oh yeah, and that's why a couple weeks ago you said, "Yeah, you got to be able to read where the rebounds." It's like, thank you,
Yeah.
AJ. Thank you.
Hey,
Yes.
you can't take that for granted because I realize some people don't do that. They don't watch the flight of the ball.
Not in the Thunderdome. Not in 33. If you're doing that, you're losing. Because if you sacrifice a point underneath, it's going to come back and get you. The games have been 2-point games.
Yeah.
Literally coming down to it every single time.
Every game's been close, and the belt has gone back and forth so many times.
It's a title, and it will remain with us. It will remain with us for the foreseeable future. We are in our Roman Reigns era right now.
We are.
All right.
Let's not forget the other match that took place.
Couple
on
polar
that
bears
court
went at it.
yesterday.
Couple polar bears went on the court yesterday.
Oh, I heard.
D-Bone, who is, I guess he's 1 in like 100, I guess, in games in the Thunderdome.
Yep.
He's actually driving forklift right now.
Yeah, he's dressed like.
What?
He's dressed like he's working outside.
Yeah.
Like he's a construction worker. He has a Carhartt fur vest on top of a hoodie with a beanie on. So I've never seen anything like it inside.
He's got a water break after it.
Even Chuck, yeah, exactly. Even Chuck has not dressed as such in there. So D-Bone is certainly unique, we will say. He is a unique person. So he's like 1 in 100 in here in games. Okay, and that one was to me and Foxy. So we have to live with that.
He won 2 because me and D-Bone also beat you and Foxy.
Okay, so he's 2 in 100. Me and Foxy have to live with that.
Yeah. Same week. Exactly. That was
Yeah,
the same
it's
week.
Back-to-back
Remind you
days.
guys.
Back-to-back days. So sorry, I tried to eliminate that second one. It's even more of an embarrassment, but nonetheless. So he is a competitive individual. He's a competitive person. So like 24-year-old classic, we've only been running this company for 7 years. We kind of have a way of doing things here. He comes in, he goes, we got to play one-on-one. I want to play one-on-one with people. You want to play one-on-one? Because he's trying to get away.
What?
Yeah, he wants to play one-on-one basketball in here, okay? And it's like, all right, we're not doing that. Like the reason why we play the game is because we don't want to do the running. So yesterday he got AQ. He said, you want to play one-on-one AQ? And AQ obviously just dogged. Yeah, I will actually. So AQ, though, 38 years old, okay? D-Bone, 24, 4 inches taller, definitely longer reach, younger than this. But we all knew that AQ would rather die than lose to this kid.
Sure.
Okay, especially in basketball. Boy, they came out, it was supposed to be the 5. Then the first couple series, they were really going hard. We're talking about jostling underneath.
Yeah, a couple jabs.
Full on, turn around, spin, fade, 0-0, 5 minutes into this thing. Neither one of them can breathe. Okay, they're completely gassed. D-Bone starts trying one-legged, one-handed runners because he's tired. I mean, it was
That'd be fun to watch.
Oh, it was. We did. We sat. It was probably 13 minutes to get to 3 points.
Yeah.
AQ won 3-0. I mean, it was just, but it was a battle of Goliaths.
I thought you were going to say they were going to play to 5, but they ended up playing to like 15. But no, they actually ended up playing to 3.
Yeah. 3, yeah. It was a quick agreement about 7 minutes in when it was 0-0 still. Like, you want to play 3 instead? Maybe 1 to do this entire thing. But 3-pointers were 2. AQ stole one.
Sure.
And then he was up 2-0. And then all of a sudden he saw blood in the water. But there was a chance a fist fight was that's how that game was gonna end.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think D-Bone knew that. Like I don't think D-Bone knew like
Really? He didn't understand. Yeah. You challenge AQ. Yeah. It could end badly.
So Foxy talked about this. Foxy and D-Butt used to play 1-on-1 and they played a 3, and Foxy would get up 2-0, and then D-Butt would 3-2.
Yeah.
That's
a lot of games too.
Exactly, yeah. And like D-Bone, I told like Foxy said that because I told D-Bone, I said, D-Bone, AQ was never going to lose to you. Just want to let you know that. Like that was either ending in a full fist fight, and that game is unfinished, or AQ was going to win. And then Foxy told that story about D-Bone. He was like, I was up 2-0, and then D-Bone comes back and wins 3-2. And D-Bone goes, yeah, it's like when I play against Matt Brown. I'm like, D-Bone, you fucking don't.
Just shut up.
Wait,
what we're saying
hold on,
is,
wait.
What's that?
Debo does that against Bruce?
Yeah.
Well, we don't know because we don't see that game.
Yeah.
But I'm saying he said that.
Yeah,
Okay.
he thought he was a professional athlete. Is what we were trying to.
Right.
We were trying
Gotcha.
to let him know, like, hey, there's levels to this whole thing. You know, like when people say, like, I hate losing. It's like, okay, do you hate it enough to AQ would drop bombs?
He's gonna knock you out.
That is
sure.
what, and D-Butt was never going to lose to Foxy.
No.
Foxy would be on his way. Massive foul is coming. I mean,
100%.
there is no. What are you going to fight? Is that what you're going to do?
Let's do it.
You know, you want to check ball? Okay, that's what I thought. You were taking free throws like that. Like there was no chance it was going to happen. And I hope D-Bone gets to play AQ again. But boy, the boys were tired. I mean, it was
sweating bullets.
Yeah. D-Bone said he ripped the quad off the bone, maybe. Blimping around him here today.
He was trying his best. He was trying his best. They were going at it.
We got insurance.
Banging body.
Are these guys covered?
Yeah, I mean, we got on-site insurance. I don't know if they were to both go into cardiac arrest.
Sure. Bone's still on his parents'
We
plan.
got a
He's good.
defib, though. I saw that.
We do got a defib.
Got the paddle.
Shout out to DeMar Hamlin in the NFL for sending us those.
Hell
We threw
yeah.
his entire thing. It's right there in the gym. We should have had we should have had those. But now that they're here, thank God, because yesterday was potentially a need for them. Yeah. Right there above the Grinch.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost time.
It is almost time. Shout out to DeMar. All right, it is time for you to make a pick. Feels like everything you have said
Don't fuck this up, Chuck.
has led us to believe that you like the Pittsburgh Steelers a lot tonight. Steelers are favored by 3.5 in Cleveland. AFC North battle on Thursday night. Chuck, who do you like?
That record scares you a little bit, but I think they get off the schneid tonight. They're just the better team, top to bottom. So I'm taking Steelers. I'll give the points.
All right.
Okay.
He says that the Pittsburgh Steelers against a divisional opponent on the road on Thursday night get off the schneid tonight, and he's going to do it alongside of them. He has lost 4 straight.
I believe so.
Yeah.
4 straight.
6-1 and 6-5 now, right?
At some point, you got to get back to. Oh, it's cold.
Here we go.
His eyes cold. That's not just because it's cold in Cleveland. It's because his picks.
Freezing.
Gone cold.
Ice cold.
Ice cold.
Icy cold.
Icy.
Feeling icy.
Okay, so he's on Steelers minus 3.5. AJ, who do you like? How do you like it?
So it's 3.5. Tone, are you surprised that it's only 3.5? Did you think it might be more?
No, division
Really?
game on the road, short week. No, I figured it would.
Okay.
Should be 8.
All right, I think. I don't know what it should be, but I'm taking the Steelers and the Steelers to cover here. I'm not. I don't know. The elements are going to cause something. I think you're going to feed Naj, and then Russ is going to throw a few of his patented moon balls, whatever you want to call it. Tej will have an impact for sure. Give me the Steelers.
What's up, Tone?
I just had to give it one moment.
Because I think Pizza Hut's here.
Yeah, that's that. The driver's looking at me. I said,
Oh, man, it looks like his back is about to break, too. That's a lot of pizza.
Yeah, well, we appreciate that. We appreciate that. Hey, Bone. Hey, Bone.
Bone on the hot.
Bone.
Front door.
Can we get eyes on Bone, too, with the way he's dressed so we can so the people can
please.
see how he is dressed as if he is working.
Is he limping?
Oh,
Is he sore?
I forgot about the quad. Yeah, he might not be able to get out of his
asleep?
seat.
Bone.
He might be asleep.
I mean, Bruce was halfway there.
Oh, Bone went out the outside. Why'd he go outside that? Bone.
What the fuck?
Bo-
We got rules here.
Bone's a moron.
I think he parked his forklift out front. Unfortunately.
No, it's Bone and Talk. They're out front. It's a meeting of the minds out there.
Well, as long as that Pizza Hut gets in here, because no one.
Yeah, and we mean no one.
How pizza's
And now they're locked out. They can't get in.
Yeah, they don't have their keys. They're going to have to go
That was
around.
awesome. Please get
Way to go, boys.
Dumb.
I'll tell you what.
Oh, yes.
When people write stories about this particular business in the future, people are going to be baffled about who,
As they should be.
who's in here.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm happy Talk said, you know what, I'll handle this.
Yeah.
Without a coat, he's going to catch a cold.
He's probably going to come back in sniffling.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Pizza
so
Hut's guy's
cold.
fingers are black.
Yeah, the
Shoes
pizza
are going to
holding-
be
He's got
so.
frostbite.
All right. At the beginning of the show, I said 3.5 was too much. But after everything that I've learned and heard, I am also on the Pittsburgh Steelers minus 3.5 this evening. Feels like this is a different Pittsburgh Steelers team. That's just, it feels that way. Now, granted, I said that about Penn State. Whenever they played against Ohio State, I said, this feels like a different time, a different year, a different team. And then Ohio State beats Penn State just like they would have the year before and the year before that and the year before that and the year before that in that particular game. So maybe my feelings have not been great. I have been seeing the field pretty well here in the NFL. Yeah. On this one, I am very conflicted, though. This one is a tough one, I think, because of everything that's at stake, because it is an AFC North rivalry game, because the weather is going to be shite.
Yes.
Shite. 3.5 feels like a lot, but 24-20 is a win.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I would take the Pittsburgh Steelers minus 3.5.
Ooh.
You like the Browns?
I mean, I just think this is a nightmare game.
That's what I'm saying. This is a tough
It sucks
game.
for you guys,
It is a
but
nightmare game.
I would probably take the Browns.
Yeah, plus 3.5.
If this game was on Sunday, no one's picking it.
Yeah, this is a stay-away game.
Really?
Except for us, AJ, because that's what we have.
We would pick them all.
Yes, that's what we do.
We'll do it.
We Dan Orlovsky.
They're beat up. They are beat up.
Well, you don't have to keep talking.
Yeah, no,
you made your pick already.
All
I don't
right,
want my friends to lose.
No, he's not betting. He's betting on parlays.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do fucking Chubb.
Not a lot of people are signing up to bet this game because this is a weird, the weather and everything like that.
It's a full Chubb night.
We just do it because it is full Chubb night.
Mm-hmm.
It is full Chubb night. Speaking of full Chubbs, do you want to get one of those and maybe give 30 people $500 by winning a contest here?
Be a good time of year to do it.
Why not? Right before the holidays?
Yeah,
Oh,
it would
help with Thanksgiving and then Christmas right around the corner.
Yeah, for folks that potentially give bonuses to people, before Thanksgiving is the time to give it, because it's in time for the holiday shopping. Some people give like
Christmas
bonuses.
Christmas vacation movie.
Yeah, like that's where a lot of people give bonuses. I from my understanding from chit-chatting with people, you move that up a few weeks, you really help the entire
Certainly does make
entire
sense.
thing in this whole
Makes
thing.
sense.
So why don't you win 30 people $500, Chuck? Why don't you put a football into a hoop? Which way are you going to be throwing it, pal? Okay, we're going
Smart.
Near hoop. Near hoop. Now, did you warm up before the show started? I did not. How'd it go?
Really good.
Okay. Chuck said he's feeling really good. Ball's coming out. He's spinning it. Jim Harbaugh say, Coach, really spinning it today. Wow, way to spin it there. Way to fire that thing. He's awesome. Coach, 30 people, $500 a week out from Thanksgiving. Why don't you make some holiday seasons better? Boom. Oh,
I like it.
You are.
I like it.
Hey, he's really spinning it today.
Yeah, come on, Chuck.
He's really spinning it today. AJ Hawk's in Ohio. He has a little motivating message for you before your next throw.
Chuck, don't worry about anything, any negativity. You're going to win tonight, and you're going to drain this next shot. We know. That first one was a very confident stroke.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no negativity needed at all. Actually, only positivity because 30 people are about to win $500 when Chuck Pagano puts that football into that hoop.
There it is.
Oh, man.
He's
Throw it
throwing
a
a
little
hot ball.
He is.
Yeah.
He's throwing. It's coming out strong. Gumpy in the back, who's a big fan of yours, has a message for you before you throw this ball for 30 people to win $500 before the holiday season.
Yeah, Coach, you're going to get off the schneid tonight. Steelers going to cover, and you're going to hit this shot right now, brother.
I like that. That's the Canadian prophet, Bubba Gumpino.
Yeah, that's right.
There we go.
30 people, $500, alone at the top.
Oh,
my
God.
Good ball. Good ball, though, Chuck.
Is there a cover on that hoop? Boston Connor, who notably loves you and everything about you, has this message to say before you make 30 people's lives better.
Coach, you did great today. You didn't bitch about the cold once. You didn't act old. You just kind of were sitting in the pocket having a good show. If you don't make it, it's going to ruin everything.
No.
So
No. You had a great show today no matter what.
you better make it.
And I am pretty pumped that you didn't bitch about the cold the whole morning. It's not bad in here, right?
No. It actually is warmed up during the show.
And looking outside with the snow falling during the break there.
It's amazing.
Pretty nice.
I thought, wow, it's actually pretty good.
Very grateful to be able to come into this.
Okay, all right.
See,
There you go, Chuck. Okay,
Too
Chuck.
much. You went the opposite way there. The thing about it is, I do believe we're
Unlike some people, we know, that, like, take going to a facility for granted.
Yeah, you're right. Mail it in.
Like you're just entitled. Like, this is my right.
No, people do that around places at work. Not here, though. That's why we're lucky and thankful you're in here.
This group?
Yeah.
This group? Fuck no.
Every time we see you on
Every
Thursday,
man.
we get jacked up. Every time those Jack's Donuts come in here. Shout out Jimmy Lyons.
Good
Today,
What a batch this morning.
Today is a good
Keep those
batch.
sprinkles coming.
Well done.
Pete Patton.
Yeah.
Shout out to Eric, Nicole Patton.
Yeah, absolutely. The Pattons, the locals, Jimmy Lyons, owns the whole thing. Yeah,
We
the
know.
Pattons. Thank you for the work, the Pattons.
we know the
obviously.
Pattons, yeah.
They drive it every year, drop
General.
off whatever they General Patton,
Yeah,
obviously.
obviously.
George
George.
Patton over there, Peyton.
George Strait.
George Strait. Congrats last night. Everybody honored him.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. That was really good. Parker McCollum with the hat, with the thing, standing like
Yeah, look good.
Right in the.
Why the fuck wasn't he nominated for anything?
I don't know. It feels like the same people win every time I watch
If
it.
the same 5 people got nominated for, I mean, why don't we just do one category then? If you're just gonna make up fucking categories and nominate the same 5 people for every single thing.
I will say I respect and appreciate all their contributions to the music.
Without a doubt. Great work.
Some
Without a
of them
doubt.
I had never listened to any of their music though, but I am not the country music genre that's voting on the CMA Awards.
Cody Johnson.
What are you saying?
He's a star.
Yeah, I guess Cody Johnson's the next big thing. I've never fucking heard of the guy.
Leather's a great album. Leather's a great album.
It's unbelievable. It's album of the year.
How about Jelly Roll had people crying out there?
Yeah.
Took him to church and his jawline. Hey, did you see Jelly Roll's jawline?
He looks good, man. He's on his path.
Proud of Bubba down there.
Yeah.
And Peyton killed it.
Cody Johnson's awesome.
Yeah, what is your problem?
I don't know. I'll be honest with you guys. I didn't watch a fucking second of it.
Come
I saw it this morning on Rolling Stone. We just got to check it. I don't give a shit. You know, Cody Johnson. Knock yourself out, brother. Album of the year. Congratulations.
You did it.
You did it. You
Wait,
done
was
it
he like
again.
newcomer or
No,
album of the year?
album of the year.
Album of the year.
It was a good
Leather.
album. It was a good album.
Who got newcomer?
Lick and Leather.
I assume Posty, but Morgan Wallen won Entertainer. Which is a big one.
Oh, nice.
But he was
Yeah.
not there. He was not there.
He's entertaining.
I guess that's a.
He's been
Is he on tour?
So I guess they wouldn't let him win for a while because,
Too good?
yeah.
Oh.
Well.
But he's been selling
Sure.
out stadiums, you know, selling out stadiums for a long time now. And you're talking about Entertainer, like that dude's sprinting and running around the entire thing. So congrats to him.
Megan
Matt
Maroney won newcomer, as she should.
Megan Maroney? I
Yeah.
thought she's been around, like, because I didn't know she would be considered a newcomer, to be clear. She sang at Game Day down at Georgia. What was that, Georgia, Tennessee, a couple years back.
Yeah.
She sang down
Was
there.
she with Kenny or no?
She opened for Keeney when we went.
Yeah. So congrats to Megan. Congrats to Cody Johnson. Congrats
Yeah.
to Jelly Roll. Congrats
Stapleton.
Chris Stapleton. And
Shabuzi.
Shabuzi performed. Do you know what he performed?
Was it the whiskey song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
I figured.
Let him play his other songs.
I figured.
This guy's got this Good News song that he has out right now, his newest song. Great. It's my favorite song out right now.
Yeah.
It is a great song. Great message. Great everything. And Shabuzi's up there. Hey, do the tipsy thing again.
Hurry up.
Let's go. Get another fucking shot of whiskey. Let's
Okay,
go.
please. He's like, what about this other that's gonna
It's really good. It just came out.
this really good.
People are gonna love it if I sing it right now.
We don't want to hear it, bub.
Okay.
Please.
Shut up. Drink
Crack that
whiskey.
whiskey.
Let's go.
Shabuzi, great performances though. Everybody out there, great performance.
Yeah.
It was a good show. It was a good show. I enjoyed it all. Peyton, Luke, Laney doing their thing.
Bone burned down his house when Post Malone didn't win Album of the Year.
Yeah.
Well, Gumpy took a dance in his face too.
Yeah, that's crazy. For sure thought that was a shoe-in to win.
Okay. Grammys haven't spoken yet. We'll see.
That's right.
CMAs are a cool party vibe, it looks like.
Yeah.
I think everyone's having a good time down there.
Seems like it.
They're like the, what's that cool one at the beginning of the year for?
Golden Globe.
Yeah.
VMAs.
MTV Music Awards.
Yeah, there it is.
Best Kiss.
Are they still doing VMAs?
I think so, yeah.
I think.
Yeah, actually, they did it earlier in the summer.
When's award season? Are we in it right now?
That was after.
Yeah, it's typically it's going to be in like January, February.
Something's right after the Super Bowl, remember? Usually like one of the stars from the Super Bowl will present an award, maybe at the Oscars.
I appreciate the CMAs seeing an opportunity on a Wednesday night though.
Yeah.
And doing it.
Let it rip.
They did let it rip.
That's what they
Up
fucking
against
do, homie.
Maction, too.
Ripping and running, man.
Taking a chance.
I didn't see any action
night, Matt.
last night. That's on me. I need to catch up.
Ohio Bobcats and Buffalo Bulls will.
I DVR'd the games.
Yeah, smart move. Skipped the
It
commercial.
was good.
I have my thing set up to DVR all college football games.
Yeah, anything
That's a
that
lot
says
of
football.
storage.
And then all of a sudden Tuesdays and Wednesdays games start happening. You know, I'm like scrolling through. I'm like, God damn. I'm really testing the limit of this thing. You know, got to go back and eliminate some, but you know, can't DVR everything. But
No.
college ball is certainly worthy of the case.
So TiVo needs to come back.
So like something will show up on a game day sheet, like, hey, this is what the show is going to be. Pop on that DVR. Let me go find this team. You know what I mean? Just go ahead and do my thing. That's my research. I don't want to give you too big of a glimpse behind the curtain.
Sure, yeah.
A little peaksy.
But DVR is
It's huge.
it's
a
huge.
weapon.
It's a huge thing because they don't just have a service or a server that has all their fucking shit on it. Like the NFL, all the games are findable. NFL Plus, Premium, NFL Pro. It's like
That is where YouTube TV comes in big. The
For
way
college ball?
just any like
just
anything you record, it catalogs it so nice.
I need to get in with YouTube TV.
Yeah, it's great.
It's the move.
All right, I will. I absolutely will.
It's going to be hard to say goodbye to yesterday, though.
Always is.
You know?
Yeah, I hear you.
YouTube TV is so much better. I've had both. It was pretty easy.
All right, hey, all right, let's roll.
I went through it's a couple days, and then you're like, thank God I did this.
Yeah, actually, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
All right,
I'm so like I like how things are. I know how things are. I know how to run this. Okay, change is hard. I'm comfortable.
That is.
Take a leap.
Do it.
Oh my God. Yeah, and you save a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a new world. It's a new world. I need to get in there. I will. And obviously, I got the DirecTV Red Zone. I got that on YouTube TV.
Sunday ticket, yep.
But that's literally, I only go over there for that.
Sure.
And then I don't go back.
Yeah.
Which is wild. So I have it already. You're saying I need to dabble.
It's so much better.
Make the leap full time.
All right, I will. You know what? Deal.
Okay. Boom. Deal.
Boom.
You got it.
Sorry, some
shake left.
What are you doing?
I'm not shaking left hand.
You're an asshole.
I'm not shaking left hand. What an asshole. I'm
Dick
making
in
an
his
actual
hand
deal.
over there.
All right, 30 people, $500. Chuck, if you're able to put that football into that hoop right over there, 30 people, 1 week out from Thanksgiving, will be $500 richer. Oh my God.
You're on.
These are your best
I
performances.
thought you had no chance.
These are by far your best
Every single
throws.
one.
You need to know that. By far your best throws. Before,
seems like it's had a shot.
yeah, in past weeks, maybe months of this, it's looked terrible.
Yeah, bad.
But there's a guarantee, I think, that this one's going in, and Ty Schmidt actually has something to say to you.
Yeah, Coach, I'd hate for some of these families who are basically relying on you right now to be able to get a nice turkey dinner for Thanksgiving to have to eat, I don't know, scraps.
So to be clear, winners won't be announced till Wednesday, and then they will not be paid until after Thanksgiving.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and
Christmas
just
ham.
give. Yeah, Christmas ham.
Yeah.
Christmas ham. There we go.
Yeah,
Christmas
of
ham.
course.
Also, maybe consider using the backboard, Coach. I like the aggressive approach, just going right at it, but it ain't working. Use the backboard.
He's finally dialed.
Got motivation and coaching from one particular message. 30 people to win 500.
He's finally dialed, Ty.
Don't do that.
He's finally dialed.
Hey, listen, sometimes it doesn't work.
I appreciate that you're taking coaching.
Yeah.
I do, but don't.
Yeah.
Just, you got to let that
Fucking
thing spin.
fire that pigskin.
Listen, Chuck, that football, that hoop, 30 people, $500, you put it in. No thinking. Less Dewey.
Oh my God.
Oh.
You might never get it. Back rim and that.
And then you were telling him to do something different.
Well, yeah, I mean, he didn't fucking make it, did it?
You're right.
You're
right.
It looked nice, but it didn't go in.
Hey, Paisan, on this particular Thursday, with the Pittsburgh Steelers playing tonight, favored by 3.5, there's only one person that can deliver a message to you that's going to be good enough to make you win 30 people $500. AP Tone, what is your messaging for Chuck Pagano?
Coach, the way that you're throwing the ball right now, you don't really need any motivation, but I didn't want to forget, you did tell me to remind you before you left today, your Viagra is in my jacket, so don't leave without that.
I like that. I don't know why it's in his jacket, but if Tone, you're popping a little Viagra too, good for you with the Louisville Slugger.
He was cold, so he borrowed my jacket earlier today, and he said, hey, I had to put this in there, so don't
Put a
forget
little
it.
blue pill down in here. Don't you worry about this. We're talking about those heavy bucks.
They're lying, Tina.
Good call. Good call.
Smart.
Just
smart.
put it almost dropped you into a war right there. Yeah, don't need that. Yeah, don't need any of that. Listen, if you do, all right. Holiday season, blood flow is great, isn't it? It is all about good blood flow.
Warms you up.
You get 30 people to win $500. The blood flow will obviously go through the roof. 1 week out from Thanksgiving.
Oh.
That was the right one to miss if you had to, because if that went, nobody wants to hear about it. All right, Chuck, that's your last opportunity. No, this is it. This is it. 1 week out from Thanksgiving.
Come on, Chuck.
Come on.
50 people.
Come on,
Holy
Chuck.
shit.
$500.
Come on, Charles.
Chuck.
Oh, my.
Man.
Good show today, though. Good show.
Good show.
It was a good show.
You're all over.
Damn it. Sorry, peoples.
I wouldn't like that Steelers -3.5.
Hey.
Right about now.
That is something to think about.
That's a lock.
Whoa!
Oh, I would like it even less now.
Why would you say that?
All right, Chuck, great work today, bub. We appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
Boys in the back, really good work. D-Bone!
Yeah, where is he? I need to see him.
It's pooping.
He might still be outside.
They might still be stuck outside.
Where's the door?
Here he comes.
D-Bone,
He's
Here he
coming up.
is.
He's coming up.
Here he is.
Jeez, how cold are you?
In the Thunderdome. He's been dressed like that all morning. It's unbelievable. He said he took his dog for a walk outside. It was cold, so he decided to dress like this, and then he just wore it the entire day. Kind of makes me uncomfortable, but you're comfortable, right? D-Bone, how'd you feel yesterday taking on AQ? How do we feel one day removed from that?
Not gonna lie, banged up my knee.
You're hurt?
Lucky for
Can
him,
you
those
run-
Carhartts
you run a
got
little bit?
knee pads on the
Great
inside
work,
of them.
D-Bone. Great work, D-Bone. You're doing great. We appreciate you, D-Bone. Graphic department's doing a fantastic job. D-Bone, you should get in here with us. You should do this with us, for sure. Right there in the middle. Just dead center.
Yeah, get away from me.
Dead center.
Dang, you shoveling snow?
We're telling you.
Plow on the shoulders.
He goes, I run hot, too, this guy says. It's like, you don't. Just want to let you know. I don't know who's been lying to you, but you certainly don't. Post Malone, his album, Too New, couldn't be nominated. That's what D-Bone said.
I like that.
So,
I like that.
It's a good spin.
Hey, any messaging for the people here before we get out of here? You don't have to go. You're good. We got you.
No? Thursdays?
Thursdays.
All right.
This guy's
Be a
great.
friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. We're in this thing together. Team on three. Team on me. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.